Good evening and welcome to the Mancunian Way. Welcome to Thursday Night Chat. I am currently your host as Martin is in the Manchester Hospital car park driving an ambulance around. I mean, possibly he may be arrested, he may not be, he may be driving down the M62, you know, in a police car chase. And he might show up at some stage, who knows? We'll wait to find out. But for now, I am joined by, as ever, two great hosts and panelists, Rich and Ed. How are we both, gentlemen?
Very good, very good. It's funny when you say Rich Ed, because one of my little brothers is Ed. So when it's Rich and Ed, it's like it's going to be very argumentative, that's for sure. If I've got Ed on, but anyway. Well, I think it's a different Ed though, judging by the accent.
Yeah. I mean, he hasn't spoken yet, so it could be your little brother for all we know.
That would be a brilliant moment. That would be great for the show. It'd be
is your little brother bigger than you, Rich?
No.
Okay. Well, this is little bro, probably taller than big bro.
Yeah. I think it's a different little bro.
Especially as we know what actually Ed's up to at the moment, and he's how much you bench pressing now, Ed?
So my max is 245s on each side, so 245s.
Nice. Yeah. Nice. I think only Rich could dream of doing that, couldn't you, Rich?
Yeah, but we do kilos in Australia, not pounds. So if I was doing 245 kilos, then yeah, that would be even more impressive.
I'm not sure you could do the equivalent if we're being honest, Rich.
I always had my strength was always squats, the legs, not the upper half.
Nice, yeah.
Okay.
Well, one day we can all compare muscles, I'm sure, when we all meet up at the Etihad.
I'm like a short Welsh pit pony.
Oh dear, oh dear. I mean, we should start talking about the weather next. Do you know what I mean? I mean, you and Ed, Rich will probably outdo like me because obviously I'm stuck in the UK and the weather's not been that great over the last few days. So, yeah.
I think it's in Ed's part of the world at the moment. But, well, You know, it's all right. I mean, it's we've had a wet week, but I think the next few days are going to be okay. But it's sort of 20 degrees now, so it's cooled down. It's sort of autumn.
No, it's definitely heat waves after heat waves over here with rain showers coming and going. You know, so
Which town are you in, Ed?
I'm in Tampa.
Tampa.
Nice. All right, stop rubbing it in now, Ed. You know, we're all jealous.
Hey, I told you before, it's a holiday weekend over here for us about to start up, so it's gonna be a good time to be outside. You know.
Yeah, no, fair enough, Tia, fair enough. And wish everyone over there in the States happy Memorial Day when it comes around. It's a good celebration. So, yeah. But anyway, we're going to have to get on to tonight's show properly. Martin is in the background, but I imagine he's not quite ready for camera. He could be, for all I know, in handcuffs right now after he's jaunt around the hospital in an ambulance. You know, so we'll see what happens. He can explain himself when he comes on. But yeah, it's been the last few days have been quite interesting. I'm gonna have to go on with it right on it. The news broke, didn't it? Only a few days back that the rumours that have been circling for the last 6 months that Pep was on his way out. And that's been quite difficult news for everyone to hear, really. As much as I think we'd all heard this, I think, you know, the more it started coming out. The first, obviously, person over the hill. Who was that again now, Rich? Who broke the story? I'm just trying to remember what's going right in my head.
The recently it was Holt, but before that it was
that was it. Well, yeah, I mean, Alston broke it 6 months ago, but again, it was still very vague. Very, you know, he could go,
yeah.
But then Holt turned around and said, no, he's definitely going.
But in truth, you could go back. Yeah, you could go back any of the last 7 years, and that story's been broken most seasons for 7 years. And you know, I think I was listening to a podcast, and I said, well, eventually, people were going to be right because. Since his second year in charge, people have, in fact, even in his first year of charge, City were, you know, media were speculating that he'd never make it in the country. He couldn't make it in the Premier League. His game wasn't good enough for the Premier League, and he's probably going to be gone after his first season.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that, you know, I was pretty strong on this, that I felt that he wasn't going. You know, I'd made my peace. You know, I was very, from everything I was hearing, that, you know, he was more likely going to at least stay one more year, and possibly extend. But I think that was my argument, is that, you know, we'd heard this story so many times over the last decade with Pep that you know, he was going to go. And as you just stated, Rich, you know, at some point one journalist was going to be right, you know, and it just happened to be that Holt was broke that, and he was right. Do you know what I mean? And the rest followed and said, you know, but obviously, we still haven't had it confirmed yet from the club or Pep himself. So we could all have egg on our faces.
How good would it be if it was the greatest scam of all time, the greatest marketing move before you know, contract extension? That'd be hilarious.
It would be absolutely hilarious. But I think we have to be a little bit honest, because I know over the last few days I've really come to terms with this news. I was obviously gutted. Absolutely gutted, but over the last few days I've come to kind of accept the news more and more, and I've come to terms with it. And I've also, you know, we'll get on to successions and who that might be as the show goes on, but I think for right now, because we obviously haven't been on since the Bournemouth game, we haven't reviewed it, so we will get into the Bournemouth game now and discuss that. But I think one of the questions I think I have to ask to Rich and to Ed, and to obviously everyone watching, put your answers in the comment section. But I mean, I noticed when the players got off that coach, they all, pretty much all of them, looked shell-shocked. Maybe not the right words, but you know what I mean. Like, it just appeared that there just wasn't something quite right. And I think we were all pretty apprehensive about going into this game. We knew everything that was on the line. We had to win it. But I think we'll talk about the display and everything. But I think for me, just a quick second, just to say, I think it was kind of obvious with just the way the players were, with the way the game went out, that I don't think it was City at their best. They had spells, but for me, I'd like to know what you guys think. But do you think? For me, it looks like the players have only recently found out. Some reportedly may have found out sooner. Some of them, maybe the Bernardo Silvas, may have found out a bit sooner. But for the majority of the squad, it looked like they only just found out. So, what do you guys think?
Yeah, I think there were a few factors in the Bournemouth performance. I think possibly yes. I think maybe some of them were finding out through the media. They must have suspected it. It's not like it's not been a story for a long time, but
No.
some probably finding out for the first time. I do think that after Everton, with and then West Ham, I do think there will have been a gradual, almost, slight giving up on the league. I think, the hope that Arsenal were going to lose to Palace, given what's happening for Palace a few days afterwards, must be something that most players must have thought, well, it's not that likely to happen. So that takes a bit of your motivation away, because you once you're out of control, it's hard to, especially when something looks easy on paper, it's hard to be as motivated. I think there's some tiredness. I think, we got our form back with Rodri playing as the kind of metronome, the organizer, and he's not, I suspect the injury, he's not back fully fit from that. And I suspect, honestly, he's really focused on the World Cup, and I suspect he's not wanting to get injured again. So I think you add all those things in together, a couple of injuries, players coming back, a few players out of form, and you get that performance. And you're playing against a very good team who, let's not forget, are on the cusp of the Champions League themselves. So
Yeah.
I know there's some weird stuff that has to happen for them to be in, for us to get the 6th place, not the 5th, because apparently Villa have to come 5th, because if Villa come 4th, it doesn't get it, or something weird. But
it's too complicated really to get into.
they're on the cusp, and they're good. Cracking manager, cracking side, and I just wonder if by any chance they got there, how much would Iriola regret not being there for them to go into the Champions League? That's mad. That's mad.
There are rumours that Palace that he might go to. I was just thinking, why on earth would you go from Bournemouth to Palace? That's not a sideward step, that's a backward step. But anyway,
they could probably possibly pay more. And I guess, you can't even say, if you're in Bournemouth, you can go and live in Poole or somewhere. So it's not like, some place where they say, oh, you want to get to London. Bournemouth's pretty close, pretty near London, and you can, live in some pretty good areas on that south coast.
But Ed, what do you think, mate, to that question? Do you think that some of the players, or most of the players, have found out kind of recently?
I think it's a mixture of that, but I just also think that if we're just talking about the season as a whole, this type of game doesn't surprise me, because we've had similar games like it. I can see if, this was like a one-off time, and I'm like, wow, maybe the decision did have an impact on them. But if we're just being honest, we've had inconsistencies in performances all season, to where we felt like the guys didn't play to their level, or I think we all knew Rodri didn't train before the game, so you're thinking, you don't see Nico G in the line, in the squad. You see Kovacic starting, in the first thing, I know we talked about the lineup in the chat. I said, okay, I see what he's trying to do with packing out the midfield, but that's putting a lot of burden on our wingers to then create, right? Because there is no creation in that midfield. You don't have a trickier fold in there. So
that's one of the things I think that I noticed in that game, and I'm sure Martin will want to talk about the lineup and everything, but for me, where we really lacked quality was in that midfield. I mean, you look at Bournemouth's midfield and they just ran the show, and that's something that you can say over the last, since treble going back, we've always controlled the midfield. That's been one of our biggest strengths, and I feel that midfield just wasn't the quality we needed that we've had in days gone by. Bournemouth, I mean, in all honesty, I'm saying now, I think Bournemouth probably should have ended up winning the game. I think they were hard done by to get that draw. But again, quality goal from Erling. So, but we'll get more into it. Anyway, he's not in handcuffs. He obviously he's not been. I don't know if you were driving an ambulance around the car park at the hospital, mate. We know you get to all weird and wonderful stuff. But anyway, it's good to have you here. He's on mute, which is probably not a bad thing to begin with.
Boss man's here.
Yeah.
Stand up. Get up straight. Good evening,
mate.
everyone. Hope you're well. What do I think of Bournemouth? Fucking long day. Long day.
But you were tired.
And then Nick Jackson, the cheeky little sod, I had to give him a lift home as well. I had to give him a lift home. Because Nick Jackson's lazy. And he don't believe in taxis. No, big up, Nick. Nick, you're a superstar. Your singing's crap. Don't ever sing on the coach ever again. Your singing is crap.
Yours isn't much better, so don't start on anybody else about their singing. Jesus. We've heard you.
It was that far, cheeky bugger. It bloody was. I don't know for you for 15 hours. Nick balls it up. I blame Nick Jackson. He does an interview for Sky TV as we're going in and just gazumps us. Yeah, we're going to get 3 points tonight. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. We're going to put the pressure on Arsenal. I think the Arsenal fans outside, Vitality wound him up. Thought Nick was going to have a fight, by the way, with them outside, which was quite funny.
So Martin, you're not blaming your away day curse?
No, because did we lose? This is the thing that's been lost in all this. We didn't actually lose. I know it's weird. Sorry. By the way, I'm going to get an happy clappy. Like you got a rich rant, so I'm going to get an happy clappy thing for next year. So little thing heads up. We're about 21 games unbeaten, which is actually batshit crazy at the moment. We're about 21 games unbeaten in the Premier League. We've won like 18 of them and drawn 3, and we've lost the league. It's really crazy how it's actually.
Those draws, isn't it?
Yeah,
those draws.
Everyone said we weren't going to do this run that we always do. City aren't capable of doing this run. Well, we kind of was on the run.
Just the draws at the wrong
Take
time.
those 2 draws out,
yeah.
We're on the run.
Draws
I mean,
but
we were on the running, and it's the draws that kill you, and that's what's happened.
Good evening, Luke. Anyway, how you doing, mate?
Hello. You're right. No, well, it's funny, right? This is our first ever title race that we've lost. The first one we've ever lost. The rest of them have always won. So, first time everything, isn't there, I suppose? But it's what it is. I think.
Do you know what's crazy?
In the end,
we're going to lose the league by about 4 points, probably, because I do think we'll win on Sunday. By the way, I'm just going to get this in. Martin is now top of the predictions league. Why? Because I was the only one who stuck a prediction in for Tuesday night. No one else did.
I did. Wait a minute. I did. Wait a minute.
Did you get it? But how can you get points? Because your prediction wasn't right. I
said 1 each. I changed it later on. I said 2-1.
He had 2-1.
1 each.
After the result, I'm gonna go back and check the. I'm going
Rich,
back.
you didn't even put a result in. So I've gone top by default. That's what happens. And I gave you ample time.
What a trophy that is tonight.
And a message.
That's all clapping. Do you know what I mean?
What a trophy. What a trophy.
Listen, guys, right, we'll get serious, but we're going to have a bit of fun for the next few days. Because you know what? the season's over. So we're gonna have a little bit of fun with it. We're gonna have some fun. Yeah, we'll talk forward, and there's loads coming up. No, my lineup. The lineup was okay. Didn't mind the lineup, but we were just not good.
No, we weren't.
And I also want to do something that nobody's done this week that I find batshit crazy. I want to give Bournemouth a lot of credit.
Oh, great.
We all said Bournemouth were on a longer unbeaten run than we were. They last lost, was it the first week of January?
Well, yeah, it's them, the other South Coast team
and they haven't cheated like some other South Coast team that went on their unbeaten run, because they're cheating bastards. Every single one of them. Luke, you're in the bin. Tell your parents they're cheaters. That's what they are. You are cheaters. Never mind 115. You are cheaters.
Sorry.
No, so
it's funny, right? If we get charged 115, we're all cheaters.
We're all cheaters.
All cheaters.
Cheating again, ole, ole.
Ole.
Well, we were singing that. No, but we weren't good. And I'm going to be honest with you, the substitutes did nothing when they came on.
Yeah,
I'm not going to lie. But Foden didn't do a great deal. Cherky didn't do a great deal.
No.
The only one, and by the way, we're going to talk about him at some point because those rumours are true. He is on the transfer list officially. Savinho, when he went to the left wing, was the only one looking with any kind of dangerous purpose when he shifted over to the left wing, which amazes me because every time Savinho plays on the left wing, he plays very good. But for some weird reason, Pep's never put him on the bloody left wing, which is crazy, and I never understand it. He goes on the left wing, he was beating his man, he was putting crosses in, he was doing everything that we were asking him to do. So
I think you're being too generous. I really do.
I'm not.
He had too many brain
I was 5 yards away from him. He was doing it.
Listen, there's no denying the skill and quality, but when it comes to the brain, what's between his ears, like he just has complete brain fart.
What's a winger's job?
Oh, I'm sorry, Martin, but like
what is a winger's job? A winger's job is to beat his man, put the cross in. Savio did
this
that.
Is brilliant. This is Martin supporting a winger and Ozzy slagging off a winger.
I'm sorry, that is exactly what a winger's job. No, a winger's job. Beat his man, put the ball in.
I'm going to be true to my. I'm going to be true to my winger support, and I actually agree, Martin. I thought Savinho did look
good brains think alike.
Players who come on,
agenda people,
and I think he beat his man. He did get to the line. He
did what? What did he do?
He did something a lot more than everyone else was doing.
When Goku puts it across and it doesn't get to one of our players, we say it's a cross.
But do you know what? Ed? This is my issue with it. This is my problem. People are very confused, and I'm very confused on what a winger's job is. Because Semenyo scores is shit. Semenyo he's not a techie baller. Right. So now we're slating a winger for not assisting, but he's scoring more than any other of our wingers. Savinho comes on, beats his man, put crosses in, but he's not scoring. But we're slagging off the winger who is scoring. And this is where I'm confused.
To be honest, man, I'm not judging my entire. I'm not judging my entire Savinho so-called agenda on that performance against Bournemouth. He's been god.
I'm not saying it was. You asked me about Bournemouth, so I'm giving you Bournemouth. Do I think he's been good enough overall? No. Do I understand why they want to sell him? Yes. Do I think they should sell him? No. I think we'll regret it.
Yeah,
I think he's got real. I think he's got real talent.
I think we're going to regret it.
I think Maresca, how he did with Esteval, I like to see him how he is with Savio. So I'd like to see.
I'd hope that a new manager, Maresca, gives every player a new slate and has a look at them. And someone like Savinho, who I assume isn't going to the World Cup, a few players like that have got a real chance in pre-season to hit the new season fitter and in shape and contribute in the pre-season. So I would hope that a new manager gives everyone a chance. You know, and I apply the same to someone like Trafford. That Maresca looks at the keepers and makes up his mind. That you know, but we'll see.
Unfortunately, the Savinho stuff is not. It's been decided above his head, above the manager's head. Hence the word of the board have made the decision. It isn't the board.
It's Viana. Viana doesn't rate
it. It's Viana who's made the decision, which is fine. That's his choice. That's he can sell and buy who he wants. That's up to Viana. I have no problem with that. But it's Viana. Viana's made the decision, no manager has. So
it's a shame because I think he'll do well. I think he'll do well elsewhere. I think he will.
Yeah, but the thing is, just to kind of put this into some perspective, some players will leave City, and we've seen it happen. They'll leave and they will go, play somewhere else and do well. Sometimes it just doesn't work at this particular club.
And then we have to listen to the same fans who slagged them off, slagging off the club. I mean, buddy, if I didn't get any more bored from listening to people saying about, we should have kept Palmer. I mean, it'll happen with Savinho.
Spot on, Rich. We should never have sold him. We should have given him more time.
Yeah, and it's like the same people who moan and force the players out. Well, no, they don't force them out. Viana's not getting pushed by the fans, but they're the first ones to complain when that player comes good. And then the people who've kind of said, well, we should have kept him and given him a chance, been patient, been sensible, then have to listen to the people who they disagreed with arguing against themselves about how we should never have sold that player when they were the ones moaning about him. So, it's one of the most annoying. It's one of the most annoying things about football. Yeah.
Do you know what it is, Rich? Because the simple fact is, people want perfection. It's like the profile in January was a goal-scoring wide man. That came out of Pep's mouth. We want a goal-scoring wide man. We get Savinho, who scores goals. Now he's not a techie baller.
And
I don't remember Pep saying we want a techie baller. Said we want the goal-scoring winger.
Or a techie baller.
I think you want a mix. You want a mix of everything. And I think that's why Savinho was a good signing.
Because people want perfection. Let's say
it's not going to happen. Then, Martin. It's never going to happen. People are asking for just everything to go their way. It's not going to happen. Never will.
Unfortunately, Luke, Yamal has destroyed every winger moving forward.
Which is sad because Yamal's actually just a brilliant.
Because he's young, he scores, and he's techer.
Well, look at
now you know the level everyone's going to get to.
But Martin, there are loads of wingers. It's not just Yamal. You have to look at PSG and the wingers they've got.
Exactly. I'm talking Cabashilia. At least we're now talking the world's best.
Doué as well, another good player. Doué's very good.
Yeah.
So you don't buy those type of players.
Well, you normally make them. Do you know what I mean? But Savinho's been here for 2 seasons and hasn't really improved. He hasn't kind of got on.
People want the young players to be ready-made, which isn't how it works. You have to nurture and grow these players into the players that they will become.
Yeah, I get that. Luke, you're not hearing any arguments from me. If for me, I could say I keep him, but in all honesty, I would still bring in another winger. In the summer.
I agree with that. Yeah.
I really would. Like, if you want to keep him, fine. But for me, you can't rely on him like you can rely on Doku or Savinho right now. Do you know what I mean? Like, those two, especially Doku has increased, at pace, this season with his assists and his goals. Savinho hasn't done that. Now he's still young, and I've always made that case that he's young enough to still learn. But if Doku or Savinho get injured, you can't rely on him to be a first-team player. That is what I'm trying to say. He has to either step up big time, or you have to get in another winger, and he can learn and he can have time to develop. But he's not good enough to trust.
Just said it. Time to develop. We've not given Savinho the time to develop.
But that's our own fault, Martin, because we didn't bring him.
So why would we give the next guy the time to develop?
But this is the thing, Maureen. Everybody says they don't want to do Project FC. If you don't want to do Project FC,
I understand that. No, I get that, Ed. I'm just Ozzy's right, but then like Ozzy just said, they don't want to give him the time. But
Yeah.
people aren't giving Savinho the time.
We didn't give Oscar Bob the time. I see some
No,
people.
I'm not. This is, again, is it a win now or is it a project? Which one are we doing?
It's
We could do that with a lot of players, though, Martin. We could do that with Rico. We
I
could
think
do that
you
with
need
Rico
both.
Lewis.
not going to happen.
He's still
John.
young. He's
Be
still
honest.
got talent, but we've all kind of made the decision that he needs to go. Have we not?
Well,
I mean,
but I think that's about ceiling. Yeah, like I like Rico, but I think he's probably played close to his. I don't think he's got this massive ceiling that's 10 levels above how he's played for us. Savinho, on the other hand, I do think you see moments from him. His ceiling is incredibly high. So he's a project that you're going to develop to a massive ceiling that could be,
I think you're doing a bit of
real
recency
first team
bias, though,
chance.
Rich. You know, when he first came in for his first season,
Yes,
and then Collie's second season, we were all turning around and saying what
but
a
it's not.
quality
But it's
player he was.
if it was
He
the
had
first
skill.
season. But Ozzy, if it was the first season now, I'd be saying that. But it's now the 3.5 season, and you know he
And
hasn't come on in 2.5
Savinho's
years.
second season, and it'll be his third. So we're making
Yeah, but
the
he's been
same.
injured for a lot of this as well.
But Savinho's had half the time Rico has. And
Oscar
I think
Bob broke his leg.
what Savinho did in
I'm not
Spain
denying that.
is arguably higher than. Yeah, no. I mean, Oscar Bob, I think he probably still will make it, but I think Oscar Bob, I just got the impression that mentally he needed a change of scene. He just looked tired at City, and like he wasn't enjoying it last season after the injury. So I almost felt I'd love to have given him a loan, but we do those sales with buyback potential instead.
I think we have to say is that, it's difficult to judge. Sometimes we judge young players and think we need to give them time. We need to kind of let them develop. And then some young players will come in like Kuzanov, who, he's still so young, but has absolutely blown us all away, especially this season. Do you know what I mean? How good he is at such a young age. And he's, we're still looking at him going, my God, he's this good now, but, give him a few more years and God knows he probably will be the best centre-back in the world. Do you know what I mean? So Yamal, Martin made that comment, he's so young and he's so good. Messi at that age, I'm not comparing obviously Sevilla to Messi kind of thing, but what I'm saying is that all players develop slightly differently from others. I mean, we have to talk about Bournemouth and we look at Krupi. He's 19 and look how good he's been for Bournemouth this season. No, but he could be. He has played off the wing. Do you know what I mean? He's a versatile player. So it's sometimes difficult because you're right. We don't always give these players long enough to develop, but also sometimes the writing's on the wall where they're good. They've got a lot of skill, they've got a lot to going for them. But ultimately, when you're talking about the highest level in the Premier League and European football, sometimes it's just not good enough to be good with the ball at your feet. You've also got to be able to show you can do something with it, whether that's an assist, a goal, or just have that kind of technical knowledge, between the ears. And I just don't think he's got that currently. Could he have it in the future? Possibly, yes. But
By the way, I'm not blaming Yamal. I'm saying that's Yamal set the standards. Kvaratskhelia has set the standards. Elise has set the standards. But the trouble is, to get a winger who scores goals and is skillful, you're looking at over 100 million quid.
Not always, Martin.
Yeah, you're not getting them.
No, Elise went to Bayern Munich for 50 million. So
yeah, but Elise wasn't the Elise that he is now.
No, but we all knew that he was going to be. He was looking very good. And we all said it was. Hey,
no one knew. It was still guesswork.
I think we were all raving about him at the time, and we were all saying City should sign him. Well, I think it was at the time where me and Rich were kind of really being hot wingers, and you were like, I don't want wingers, I just want my Jack.
But they didn't rate him at 65 mil. Hence, they didn't pay the 65 mil.
Yeah, I remember having a conversation. Having a conversation with Martin. I said, Martin was like, I don't think he's Bayern Munich quality. And I said, Martin,
Yeah, listen, I've been proven wrong. Listen, I don't mind being wrong, but my point is,
I'm not saying you were like wrong. I'm not trying to like say you're wrong all the time or anything like that. We're all wrong at times. I'm just saying basically.
well, I know I am, but like you're going to admit soon you're wrong on Nico G. But we're gonna move forward. But the problem is again, people want the finished article now. Cavascilia was at Napoli. City don't deal with Napoli. We were not getting him for 60 million quid. No chance. That was not happening. Because De Laurentiis, we just don't get on with the guy. I mean, I don't think he's gone now from Napoli, but we don't get on with him. Hence, we don't do deals with Napoli, really. Yeah, Kevin De Bruyne went on a free. It wasn't really, we didn't have to get involved in that Napoli deal. That was between De Bruyne and Napoli. We had nothing to do with it. And unfortunately, sometimes there are politics in some of this. People forget that there is a politics element to signings, interest, things like that. I think it's mad that there is. I think it's batshit crazy that there's this politics thing. Because the problem is the kind of winger we all want is at Real Madrid. They're at Barcelona. They're at Bayern Munich. They're at PSG. When does City really dabble with those teams? Now and again. We don't. We just don't go near those teams. I don't know why. Maybe they don't want to deal with us. We don't want to deal with them. I don't know. Because for us to get a Cavascilia now out of PSG or an Elise out of Bayern Munich, that's like us selling Haaland to them.
Yeah.
This is the way you got to look at it. This is like us saying to Real Madrid, oh, come and get Haaland. And no one looks at it from the other side. We're taking one of their best players from one of the top clubs in the world. Well, we can't moan then if PSG or Madrid come knocking for Rodri or Haaland. Because that's exactly what we're asking City to do.
It depends on the circumstances because, you look at someone like at PSG, like Barcola, and there are rumours that, he might be on his way out. So, you can sometimes go to these clubs and get these players. It all depends on the situation with a player. I don't think it's that those players are always off limits. They are to an extent, but again, money talks as well. I think City have always said if there's a price tag on a player, as long as you come to the table with that price tag, they'll start negotiating. We didn't with Alvarez. Unless we're told that's the price tag and they paid it. Do you know what I mean? So, it just depends on the player. Doesn't always depend on the club.
Yeah, and I think some teams don't want to make their European rival better.
No. Of course not, but sometimes if you're going to throw 100 million at a club, sometimes it's hard to turn around and say no. That's just something you have to do. We've done it to rivals in the Premier League. We bought Sterling off Liverpool. We bought how many players going back we bought off Arsenal over the decades. Do you know what I mean? I don't. When you are one of the biggest clubs in the world, you've got to act like one of the big boys. And if you go in there with you want to get a player, then you've got sometimes you just
but we don't deal with Arsenal now. We dealt with Arsenal when they were languishing in 7th and 6th.
We done a couple of seasons ago, Martin.
Oh.
Jinko and Jesus.
No, we sold to them. I remember the line, but the line came out. We'll never sell to them again. This is what you got to think of. Once I know people you're saying about Adebayor and Nasri and all that. That was when Arsenal was shit. They weren't a rival. It's like us going to Arsenal now and saying, "Can we have Saka?" They'll be like, "Yes, see ya. There's the door."
Fuck off.
You're not even in the conversation anymore. This is the problem. And
I don't know if you slapped 100 million down the table, Arsenal. I think there's a conversation there. I'm not saying for 1 second, by the way. But don't turn around and say that Arsenal wouldn't think about it.
No, I don't think they would. In the same way, I think if we got a silly bid for the Foden, I don't think we would. There's certain players that are off limits to clubs.
Yeah,
there
possibly. Possibly, but You know, I'm just saying, you never know. But I don't want Saka anyway. So,
I mean, it is what it is. Listen, the Savinho thing. Listen, I will be sad. And listen, people say about Nick G. I think there's a player there in Nico G. I'm not saying he's a bad player. What I'm saying about Nico G is what the manager is saying, and why he's being left out. I can only pass on the information I reportedly get. I don't hate Nico G. I don't know him. I think he's a very good player. But what I'm doing is constructive criticism in the same way, apparently, we can constructive criticize other players. But what I'm seeing is certain players, and you can't constructively criticize certain players. No. There are certain players with the fans that are off limits for any kind of criticism.
Kusanov.
Everything they do is perfection.
Kusanov.
Well, for what I think, Kusanov is excellent. Thought he had a nightmare the other night at Bournemouth. But apparently I've got an agenda because I said that. No, I'm judging the game. Thought Rodri had a nightmare the other night. Doesn't mean I've got an agenda on Rodri.
I think, as Rich said earlier, I think Rodri's still injured. I mean, when Rodri is at his best, he turns like he's a Ferrari. When he's injured, like he looked at Bournemouth, he turns around like an oil tanker. You know, so
he was getting like Alex Scott and I can't remember who it was, but that midfield run through him at times.
Their midfield was excellent, and you know, when Krupi was a star in the respect that he got the goal, I mean, and what a fantastic goal it was. But I think Alex Scott just ran that midfield.
But you know where
our whole midfield was poor. Bernardo was poor. Kovacic was poor.
But do you know where Krupi is now? Is where Elise was at Palace. Because the problem is, at the time, there was some saying, but there was that snobbiness always from Palace.
Yeah, except Elise had done it for 3-4 seasons.
Yeah, and who's getting panned at the minute?
Oh, no, I know.
Semenyo, that's my point.
Yeah.
Unless you can buy him from a big dog team, people think they're shit. Ake went through it. Why are we buying this bum from Bournemouth? They got him relegated.
Ake, for example.
Yeah, it's
how he turned out. It's like we have to buy from some people have to buy from the premium club. Like, no, you can buy someone from a mid-table, even top 7 club, making better players. Like, look at Nasri.
That's what we've done. That's what we've always done, pretty much. Do you know what I mean?
It's just I think people just have this expectation that because as I thought, since that treble, right, it's just changed, isn't it? Everyone expects everything to be done straight away. It's how it works, man.
Look at Mares. We bought Mares from Leicester. Do you know what I mean? Like, look where Leicester are now, kind of thing. Leicester, where they came from at the time. I know they won the Premier League, but you know, it was still.
But Leicester dicked around with us. Remember, Mares went on that so-called plane somewhere that no one knew about, and then he was trying to get away. Leicester went, "No, you're not going," and we had to wait 6 months to get him in.
Yeah,
no, but
because Leicester weren't selling to us.
Someone like Krupi is someone that I would love to have because again, he's a young player, got so much potential to do, but he's young enough where he can play alongside or behind Haaland for a couple of years, but he would just be fine that because he would get game time and get better and better for us. He's at that age where he's
about Krupi is that he can play anywhere on that front line. Do you know what I mean?
Would you pay 85 million for him now?
Yeah.
Well, as an investment, as a long-term investment, no, not as investment.
We're paying 85 million for a 19-year-old now. Then I'm worried.
Market mine, market.
I'm seriously worried.
The thing is that
you're not going to like this about Savinho. He was 20 million quid. I don't mind a gamble at 20, but 85 is that's the second highest player we bought.
What I would say to that about it is that if you're going to sell Savinho, and let's say we get 40-50 million for him, that kind of offsets a bit of the Krupi anyway. So, and then there's going to be the exit of the likes of Bernardo, John Stones, their wages coming off. You know, it'll equal itself out. So at the moment, such a top player that he is already, for me, yes, you think, oh my God, that's a lot of money. But at the end of the day, it's what that player's worth to Bournemouth right now. And he's on a long-term contract. Like, he's a top player for Bournemouth. He's young and so talented that that's what you
Semenyo was a
expect.
top player for Bournemouth, and now
Yeah.
everyone's conning him.
Well, that's some of the fan base that you're
There's a
talking about.
lot
That's
of
not
people conning him.
well,
It's
I think
what we
you're
call
over-exaggerating.
the minority.
I'm not.
Yeah.
Just look at the chatters. Jesus.
Fine, but that's the chat.
Online. People are criticising him. Mate, you can't do
online,
the
Martin. That's online. I don't.
I know, but then I can't be the stop one and go. The match-going fans don't criticise. Match-going fans hardly criticise anyone else. So come on.
I'm talking about the majority of the fan base, Martin. Listen, I'm not going to turn around and say shit because he's not. You look at how many goals he's only scored for us, let alone Bournemouth this season. So the numbers speak for themselves.
Yeah, I don't deny that. That's why there's 2 songs about Semenyo. As a match-going fans, we love him. Absolutely love him. It is the Semenyo thing is an online thing, and that's fine. That's their opinion. But like Amar's put, God forbid a winger can score and create. But they're a shit ton of money, Amar. They're over 100 million, mate. We've touched 100 million once.
Yeah.
And
come close to it though, Martin. You've come close to it over that few years.
I just don't understand how factually anyone can say he makes City play worse, because if we look at the last 4 quarters of football, the 2 halves of last season and the 2 halves of this season, we've been by far the best in the last half of this season. Far better than we were in the first half or any time last season. So factually, we are playing better. We're getting better results. We're getting more points. We're losing fewer games with Savinho playing. So not Savinho, Semenyo playing. So it's silly to say he makes us worse, because factually, it can be scientifically proven not to be true.
I'll tell you what, though, one of the players that we should talk about from Bournemouth is Alex Scott. I was absolutely I'd only seen him play a few times this season, and that's usually towards the end of this season with Bournemouth. But he has just been outstanding. He was outstanding.
No. Don't do this, Ozzy. Don't do this.
No, but he was. You can't deny that. I mean,
Ed, he was good. Come on. He was good.
No, Alex Scott is a good player.
What does Alex Scott bring more in our? What would Alex Scott bring in our team that others don't?
Now, linking the midfield to the attack is the big thing that he brought to Bournemouth in that game, and he's been brilliant.
I think Anderson would do that for us, though. I think Anderson would do it well for us.
Yeah, but we're talking about I know, but we're talking about Alex Scott right now.
Yeah, I know.
He would have brought, but I'm saying that midfield on that weekend with Bernardo Silva, Rodri, and Kovacic was
it'd be interesting to see whether he would do it a bigger team. I mean, the other player who more last season than this season, but I think has been consistently looked brilliant in a weak side is Harry Wilson. I think him and Alex Scott both look like really fantastic players. Now, I don't know whether they could move into the Arsenal, Liverpool, City, side and keep playing like that, or whether they wouldn't. But they certainly look like they've got the ability. And Scott impressed me against Arsenal. Impressed me in the games against City. He's a talented player. The Guernsey Grealish.
Can I ask you, Rich?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying you're making this point, but we know it does happen a lot, and Martin brings us up a lot. Is it because the players you're mentioning are English players? If they had a nice
Harry Wilson
surname,
Harry Wilson for a start. He's not an English player.
What I'm saying is that I know, but
he'd sue you. He'd sue you for saying
Harry Wilson gets slammed within 2 weeks of being here.
Let me ask you guys this, right? Because do you guys think that these players, Alex Scott or Harry Wilson, can operate in the small pocket of spaces our midfielders get, and get in those half spaces and turn and put a ball in behind, or turn and keep the ball with pressure on them?
They can, because they do it for their clubs.
Yeah, exactly.
No, they're not in those. They got space. They got space. Well, I'm talking about the team sitting down like how they do against us, right? Because when they come to a City, they're not going to have the spaces in midfield because we're camped in their half, right? And they're breaking on us.
But that's what I'm saying. We don't know. I mean, we can't say yes. We can't say yes, they could do it at City or they could do it at Arsenal. And we can't say no. I mean, that's something that we will maybe find out if one day, one of the top side signs them. Maybe we'll never know. I mean, it's like the question. I mean, going slightly off tangent about how good Fernandes is at United. He's never played a big game in his career. He's never played in a high pressure game. He's done it all in nothing games, playing once a week. If he could play like that in the final of a Champions League or the semi-final of a Champions League or in a title running, it would be impressive. But I think it's a bit like he's in that same boat as Wilson and Scott. They look really good in mid-table teams without world-class players around them. Would they look really good in a world-class team with world-class players around them? Maybe they would. Maybe they've got that ability. Alex Scott, a lot younger than the other two. But we'll only know if they're given the chance.
I also think you look at like players like we've currently got that came in with a big reputation, the likes of Reinders, who was supposed to come in and do that job. We saw him play at Milan, very good on the ball, was able to link that midfield and attack, and he's coming to City and he hasn't done it, if we're being honest. Like, he hasn't been able to do it. And he's a player that he's not young, he's an experienced player. He's 27, 28 near enough. Do you know what I mean? So he's a player that we expected when we signed him to be able to do that, and he's not been able to do that. Now, that can be for various reasons, that just sometimes it doesn't work out for players. Do you know what I mean? So it doesn't always matter, like the age, the profile, their experience. It just, you never know until they literally.
I think it does for Maresca a bit. I think Maresca does, because that was one of the main reasons he got pissed off at Chelsea, because he was sick of being given a kiddie team. Said that. Stop buying me 19-year-olds, 20-year-olds. Said that himself. He doesn't want us to team of that.
No, he wants experience, doesn't he?
He wants experience as well. I don't know why football's gone to anyone under 25, 26 is the dog's bollocks, and everyone above 26 is this old yellow old man walking system that is just dead.
The old man. Yeah.
We used to say 28 was the prime. We were the team who bought a 30-year-old Fernandinho, maybe even older, I can't remember.
28-year-old.
Made him a superstar.
Yeah.
But he was playing till he was 34, didn't he? He's an unk. He's an unk. You know why? Because half the people saying it weren't fucking City fans then. So they didn't see it. Yeah, I'll say it. I don't mind. I'm going to say it. And that's fine. But again, do your research. Luka Modric was not roaming around football pitches at 40 because he was shit. Toni Kroos was not shit. Lewandowski, he's not shit.
Modric is now at a World Cup, by the way, this summer.
It's like, what are we doing here? Anyone over the age of 26 is dead.
Kevin De Bruyne was
he's like
35.
They're getting the pension next week.
Yeah.
And that isn't just City, by the way. I see this across all football fanism now, of every team.
Everyone
and I just find it crazy how everyone's just jumped to Wonder Kids. Yeah, you can buy one or two, three, maybe three or four. Get it. Kushnoff, Cherka, great additions. Going to be amazing. They've done outstanding. But you still need that experience in there.
Do you know
We've seen you went to Real Madrid and shit the bed.
Do you think we should talk about some of our experiences about to walk out the door then, Martin, as you've been very talking about these older players and what they can bring to us and what they have brought to us, like the likes of Bernardo Silva and the Stones that would give us some quite emotional videos out today. Okay, we won't talk about them then.
No, I don't think you can. I can't glaze those two enough.
Yeah, it's two different conversations.
Yeah.
Even though he's one of my favourite ever players at City, we know that Stones going isn't going to change the equation that much. I don't know if it will off the pitch. You know, he's a popular guy, but he's, you know, it's not going to change on the pitch at all because he's you know, it's like I said this about De Bruyne when he left. De Bruyne's contribution for the last 2 seasons he was at City was minimal. So him going, everyone made a huge deal about it, but it wasn't a big deal. But Bernardo has been involved in nearly every single game this season as the tactical player, flexible player on the pitch. So I'd say on the flip side, Bernardo going, there is no player who could be leaving City and have more of an impact on the pitch. So I think that conversation, obviously, in terms of impact next year, has got to be about Bernardo. Because as much as I love John Stones, and I think he's, you know, the best defender we've ever had, and, you know,
I mean, I'm not quite that
2 years ago, he was amazing. But,
Please, that's the best of all time.
But that was 2 years ago, and we haven't had, because of his body, we haven't had that Stones for more than the odd game, the odd glimpse for the last 2 seasons. Bernardo, though, that is going to be massive. The whole way we play,
can I just give another
everything
example?
is going to change because of Bernardo.
Because I'm on my IRs for this. Do you remember last summer we were linked with Morgan Gibbs White, and everyone said Morgan Gibbs shite. English.
I don't think everyone was saying that, Martin. Like,
no,
let's not label everybody.
There was all right. There was plenty of it. I think you only look at the City website and that's it, mate. I think you need to broaden your outlook a little bit,
mate. I just don't get involved with all the rubbish that goes on all the time.
Good for you. Well,
that's fine. Good for you, mate. You're the lucky one. Sadly, when you go on these other YouTube shows, you do see it. You do. Morgan Gibbs White has got, let me just make sure I count this correctly, 18, 19, 20, 21, 24 or 25 G&A in all comps.
Big goals, by the way. It's Porto recently as well.
I'm like, and scoring at Anfield, scoring at Old Trafford, scoring in Europe. And everyone did this because the problem is there is a snobbery that goes on. Whether people like this or not, there is you just said it and you're spot on, there is still this English.
He's still shit. Come on,
there is this English homegrown agenda going on.
Come on, he's not still shit. Stop
people like the sexy name. They do.
Morgan Gabinho White.
It's sort of like they forget the homegrown rule and want to just go and get the latest 19-year-old who plays in a foreign league.
He's the top English goal scorer in the league, isn't he?
Yeah,
he scored more goals in the league than any other English player this season.
Yeah, I think you're right, Rich. I mean, I think he's got quite a sexy name, Morgan Gibbs White. That's not bad.
I'll tell you, we could have done with a Morgan Gibbs White in this midfield this year.
Oh yeah, I thought it was so sad that we missed out on him. I do. I think it was a missed opportunity.
Well, you're in the minority, Phoenix, because we sing all the songs, mate.
This is the thing, though. If you would have got a Morgan Gibbs White, would you be
getting
the Anderson now?
We're not going to win the league. So, we're not going to win the league.
You never know, right? So
for 2 draws.
There's reports that Forest still don't want to sell Morgan Gibbs White, and so when a club doesn't want to sell players, hard unless they go on strike and things like that.
Yeah, exactly. If I said to you 55 million on Reinders with add-ons, or 55 million on Morgan Gibbs White. I know which one I'm taking right now. If it came back to back in time in this situation,
that's why it's hindsight, right? That's why it's hindsight.
Yeah, but again, Reinders was the name. I did it. I thought I was joking with MCFC lads, Luke at Bournemouth on Tuesday. Big up, by the way, mate. Still not seen the photo. He dragged me into a bloody photo with loads of people. So big up to your mates who watch as well. Big up to them. Thank you for the support. And we were saying it was like we all said Reinders was going to be our player of the season, transfer of the season. We thought he was going to be up there. And now I look back and I think, God, I want a little bit of Morgan Gibbs White in the end. But people were running spaces, they were running shows, so against the idea. No to Gibbs Shite was coming out. I'm like, why? Why? He's an English bum.
I tell you, someone's mind's playing trick with that. I've just seen a comment that Ricky Holden was faster than Semenyo. Over 100 metres, Semenyo would beat Rick Holden by 35 metres. Rick Holden would barely be past the 2/3 mark. So your mind's playing trick with you if you think.
I tell you, people
fast.
say he's not a techie baller. What's he doing scoring a back heel flip then in the final of the FA Cup? Is that not techie?
No, it's not the back heel.
Is that not techie? He scores a back heel flip. If that had been Cherky,
it's one of the most techie moments in
FA Cup if that had been Cherky or Messi, people wouldn't have shut up about it. It'd have been of every thumbnail, every tag, every meme. But it's Semenyo. And they'll say, you know what? He closed his eyes. He didn't mean it. He fluked it.
He hasn't got
because it's an agenda. Pete, he can't control a football. Why is he scoring a one-touch back heel flip then?
He got lucky, did he?
Yeah, not everybody's first touch is going to be like a Cherky. Not everybody's first touch is going to be like a Foden. But these are the same players that like Martin said, everybody wants to have their cake and eat it. Everybody wants both.
Great.
But sometimes a player is going to be a higher level than other attributes, and that's why you build a squad. That's why you build a team that is balanced. Every player in your squad is going to be able to do both things.
Yeah, I don't know. The Reinders one.
Listen, when we were linked with Reinders, Martin, we did glazing and we said he looks really good at Milan. You know, it looks like he could be a great player, and we did say that he probably could be our player of the season for City. We really felt that. But I think we also glazed Morgan against White and said he was a great option as well. So we did defend both players coming.
Oh yeah, well, we did on here. We were in the minority on it on the Morgan Gibbs White train.
Well, yeah, but ultimately we were right and wrong at the same time because Morgan Gibbs White has continued to do it in the Premier League. Obviously not for us, and Reinders has come in and it hasn't worked out.
This is my thing on Reinders, right? I have some hope for Reinders because I've seen what Maresca did with Enzo Fernandez, who is a box crasher, right? Enzo Fernandez had an upward trajectory when he was with Maresca, right? Does Maresca think he can do the same thing with a Reinders?
The thing is, though, it's not so much his on-the-ball skills that I have a big problem with. I think at Milan he was really good on the ball. At City he's been all
but is that
right
a system thing, Ozzy, though?
But it's more off the ball that his biggest problem is, in all honesty. And in this league, you've got to be so much better, and he has not been. He's been really poor. And to be honest, yes, you could see what Maresca could do with him. I won't say that that's not a possibility, but right now, from everything I've seen, I just don't think he's got the chops to make it. I would rather flip him this summer because if you keep him for another year and it doesn't work out, it's going to be extremely hard to move him on another year.
No, I agree with you, Ozzy. I agree with you, but I'm saying, is it a system thing? Because would he have the same responsibilities if he has two holding players behind him? Would you see those?
The problem is, Ed, is let's be honest. If Pep is not seeing it, and he hasn't played in God knows how many weeks now, and Pep has obviously seen enough. He's obviously gone. I can't even. He played Kovacic over him. I'm sorry, but if he's playing Kovacic and Nico G, who I know hasn't featured lately, but what I'm saying is that if he's not even featuring over the last several weeks at all, that tells me enough that Pep just does not rate him and trust him enough to be in the squad.
But Ozzy, I'm talking about the system, right?
But that doesn't matter. I mean, that doesn't matter anymore because if Pep's not here,
that's what I'm saying. It's a system.
Oh no, I'm just saying if Pep was to continue, blah blah, it could be different under Maresca. I'm not saying that argument isn't there, Rich. I'm just saying right here, right now, with the way things are, I just don't think he's good enough.
Yeah, but again, you said earlier on about giving players time.
It's difficult because I think, again, I know you're going to hit me for this, but his age, his profile, I just look at him and go, I honestly, I just don't think he's good enough for City at the moment. And I think you're better off selling him now this summer while he's still got value.
Yeah.
Do you know what worries me, Oz? And I'm not going to whip you because I hear what you're saying. Again, we're going. I did this last night with LB. We ended up going down in circles, and LB, we ended up agreeing with this.
Pause.
People are after perfection. And what you'd end up with, 2 players that we bought in January have been here, 3.5, 4 months. They've both been racially abused in that time. Factually, by the way, you can check that. By so-called City fans. Again, we'll just say...
By City fans, because I've heard the...
Yeah, they've both been whipped. Apparently, Gay's crap cost us the league. Semenyo's crap doesn't do anything. They've been here 3 to 4 months.
And have done well.
This is my worry.
And have done well.
Where are we going? Where are we going as a fan base if this is what we're doing? If we can't give players 4 months, then we're in major trouble. We're in major trouble there.
That is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I would not turn around.
Yeah.
Can I just say, Rich, I would not turn around and say that about those 2 players as well.
No, I know you.
Obviously, not racial, but I'm talking about writing them off. Do you know what I mean? There's no way I'd write those players. The reason, as long as I've been on this channel, as long as I've said about players, I have never written most players off after a season. That's just something I don't normally do. It's just from everything I've seen, especially of the likes of Reinders and Savinho, it's just for me personally, from my point of view, from what I see, my opinion is I just don't think they're good enough for City right here, right now. Could that change? Yes, but right now for me,
it's just the world. It's not just City fans. It's not just football. It's the world. It's the world. You would need the greatest prime minister in history. You'd need to give him more money than anyone's got and 10 years to turn around a lot of their problems in the UK. Same in the US or anywhere else. But everyone thinks someone should do it with no money in 6 months, and all that leads to is countries just change. It doesn't happen in America because your electoral system, but Britain just has a prime minister every year or 2, and it'll keep happening because nothing can get fixed in a year because it's impossible, but people want the impossible because they want it on TikTok, and therefore there's this impatience. And it's happening in football. If a player doesn't come in and play perfectly day one and play brilliantly every game, then they get binned by the fans. It's silly. Ferguson would have been fired within the first 2 seasons at United. Was it today? Because people would be calling twice as much as they were for Pep to be sacked in his first season because we scraped 3rd and didn't set the world alight. And that's just the way it is. And it's going to just breed mediocrity, because if no one has ever got the time to do anything good, we are just going to live in a mediocre world, and that's what it becomes. But sadly that's what's happening, and I don't know how to change it because people want everything distilled into a minute on TikTok.
I don't think you can change it, Rich. I think that's just the world now. The world is a very angry place, and they use social media as a echo chamber. And it's like you can tell everyone just... And what you'll find is one person puts the thing out, and 15 of the replies are just copy and paste, just with a few more expletives put in. Because some LB says all the time, more people want to be right and first more people want to be first with things, because what they want to do is, I said 4 months ago Semenyo was shit. I told you so. They want to take the props on that. I told you he was shit all along. Like, but why? Aren't we all City fans and all supporting the same team and players? For me, once they're in a blue shirt, I back them. I back them all. We can constructively criticise. We can with some. Other players, you can't constructively criticise because there is still an element of player FC that goes on. I went on LB's last night. Me and LB had a really good chat. I got hammered in the comments. Over Semenyo. Semenyo got destroyed. by a majority of LB's chat, and that's fine. That's their opinion. But I know it goes on, and it goes on in City chats a long time. You know, like the Pep sexuals, the Pep followers that we all are. Not that he's won 20 trophies in 10 years. And I've even seen some City fans now say, no, he's only won 17. We're not including Community Shields.
Oh, for God's
It's like, what are we doing? It's like, are we just trying to slag the club off for anything now?
Trying to be cool, basically. Trying to be cool.
It's like Maresca's out of a job before he's even in the job. People have literally said if Maresca doesn't win his first 2 games in pre-season,
I'm done, Martin. I'm done.
I'm like, are you crazy? Because Daps said this, and Daps was bang on the money with this. We're at a crossroad as a fan base. We can go the Man U and Chelsea road and play the we were always brilliant, we've got standards road. Or we can go in the right, we enjoy this ride and see. And we accept, as most people, 99.9% will do on this channel in our community, will say, you know what? We've had the era of dominance. It may not happen again. It may, but it may not. Pep was special.
You know, one thing I would say that to Martin, what I would say is I want to go down that second road, and if we lose a load of plastics along the way because of it, I'll be a much happier.
Be careful, Ozzy. You're an happy clapper if you do that.
I don't care what people call me. You know what I mean? I'm happy with what we've had over the last 10 years with Pep Guardiola at the helm. I've been so happy at times because of what he has brought to this club. Do you know what I mean? I will not regret anything I've seen over the last decade under Pep Guardiola. And we are never likely to see it again in our lifetimes, possibly. Do you know what I mean? Because of what he has achieved at this club. And we should absolutely be enjoying what we've seen and what we've had. Absolutely. Just like, you know, the United will do with Ferguson and during their times. We'll always talk about the times. But the difference is that we're in such a better place than those 2 clubs to move on and succeed and continuing to succeed. We may not get the trebles and the quad, you know, the quads and the four-peats again. But the one thing that, you know, we can probably kind of look at a good place and guarantees that we're going to keep on challenging. And more likely, we're going to keep on winning.
We'll win European titles.
We won titles before Pep came, Rich. You know,
I've got no doubt. Yeah, I've heard people this week say City did nothing before Pep. No one decent ever signed before Pep. And it's like, so David Silva, Aguero, Bruyne, Sterling, Sané.
You know why, Rich? Those people saying that, and I'm going to say it
because they're thick.
City fans there.
Yeah.
No, this is fans of other teams. You know, just who just don't have a clue. And,
apparently, Arteta's chasing Pep out the door.
Arteta's now the best manager in the world, according to Arsenal.
Right. Yeah, right. Cool. Brilliant. Brilliant.
And Klopp, Ferguson, Pep, and who was the other one? One of them has to stand up for Arteta to take a seat. He's won 1 league title in 6 years. We're talking about managers who won multiple titles, multiple trophies.
Yeah.
And they've all got won one.
Yeah. And the other one is we've won a title doing it properly. Yeah, spending 1.1 billion in 6 seasons, provided by a right-wing American billionaire who's the 29th richest person on the planet. What a beautiful story that is. It's heartwarming.
We still outspent them, Rich. We still outspent them.
They've done what we've done, and they've been better than us this season. And I'm going to say, congratulations, Arsenal. I'm not going to say City haven't spent money and achieved what we did because we spent money. I just, I can't stand it when Arsenal fans who are becoming like the Liverpool fans of the South seem to think that, they talk like they got all their players for free. Now, I think, like, if you look at the top 5 transfer fees ever paid between City and Arsenal, I think 4 of them are Arsenal have paid, and only 1 of them City. I think only Grealish would get into their top 3 or 4 transfers ever. So, you get this kind of myth that they try and create for themselves, and it's ridiculous. The fact is, Arsenal are an expensively acquired squad. They got a good coach. They were the best team over 38 games. They won the league. They deserve it. And if they win the Champions League, they deserve it too. But let's not pretend these were a load of Cockney boys who joined at the age of 2 and cost nothing. And that, Arsenal do it with UNICEF sponsoring them and with charity donations from,
The one thing I will say, Rich, the one thing I will say about Arsenal this season is, and I don't care if I come across bitter, I admit it, I don't mind, but my God, they've had to be dragged across that line. And they've had to have a lot, I don't care, they've had a lot of VAR decisions go in their favour. I mean, we only have to talk about the ones over the last couple of recent weeks. Gabriel's headbutt on Haaland, Havertz's challenge that should have been a red card. Gabriel's handball in the box. I mean, I can go on. Do you know what I mean? The amount of decisions.
West Ham game. Yeah.
I mean, come on. I mean,
just
the amount of decisions.
Rise above it, Ozzy. We're not scared.
No.
Rise above it. Yeah, I've got to go. So I'll say good night. I'll leave you to your whinging, Ozzy.
All right, thanks a lot.
Take care.
See you later. I'm going to do the Rich rant.
Good idea.
Yeah, can I just say that I just do these super chats because they've been here for a while. Big up to Robertino for the 10-month, mate. You, sir, are a legend. Thank you so much. And then doubles down with a super chat, $1.99. Big up, mate. Big up, Martin. I want Bruno G and Anderson this summer. Yeah, that'd be amazing. That's something I wouldn't say no to. City are after 2 midfielders, by the way. They are after 2. Big up, mate. The UAE Guardiola to ban room is heating up. I was hoping it's for contracts, but so he wants to go. Me personally, I don't want players not committed. If they're just here for Pep and not the club, they can go. I understand what you're saying, but again, there's been a lot of. I heard people say the other day, Pep's not playing him. He's just come back from an injury. Just come back from a broken leg. What do you mean he's not playing him?
He played him in the game. He played him. What was the game he played him in? Again?
Palace. We weren't even expecting him back.
No.
And
no one was expecting him back. He started.
Well, the thing is, if you look at it as well, he's happy. He's happy. I think for him, he's happy to just be playing again. So I mean,
do you know what it is? Do you know what it is, Luke? In all honesty, we're going to see this happen over the next few weeks.
Haaland wants to leave.
Yeah, it will be. It'll be Haaland next.
You want to leave? I want to leave. He wants to leave.
Rodri's already been talked about leaving for Real Madrid. And listen, I'm going to be honest. Any player, and I don't care who the player is, any player that is here because of Pep, then yeah, if they don't want to be here anymore because all they were here for was Pep, then the door's there. See you later. Bye-bye. Yeah. But I doubt that's the fact, in all honesty. But I think it's not really true.
To me, there's not wrong with that.
Yeah. But for me, honestly, like, these players knew that Pep was never going to stay forever. They knew the rumours. They knew what was going on in some respects. Like, it was going to come to an end at some stage. And a lot of them signed long-term contracts. Do you know what I mean? Maybe hoping that Pep would stay. But realistically, probably knew deep down that he was going to leave sometime sooner rather than later. So we're going to see this. I mean, we're already getting, like, with Maresca, we'll get on to him shortly, I'm sure. But we're already seeing a number of Chelsea players being linked with us because Maresca is the manager. And that's just what happens with these news cycles, is that we're going to have to put up with this for the next few weeks.
Look, yeah, it is. It is what it is. The one thing I will say is, I'm just doing a quick super chat. Nat, thank you so much for your very kind super chat. Clean slate for fringe players. Maresca comes in. Not all, no, which I'll go into in a bit. Maresca has been watching these players for a while. Maresca's not just appeared and started. Maresca's already seen some. Again, this is not. It's not knee jerk from Pep to Maresca. If you think that, you're being a bit naive. So yeah, is Ed there still, by the way? But thank you for your super chat.
I just finished my workout. Yeah, I'm here.
Right, Ed's been in the gym. We've not been ignoring him. He's been doing a workout in the gym. I do feel sorry for Nico G. When I was injured, Nico played that CDM very well. I agree with you, Lee. But my point, and this is some reason when I say it, everyone says an agenda, we were playing differently. The style we played with Nico G was different to the style we played with Rodri. And I don't think Pep fully wanted to do the long, transitional, quick play. I think that was more, I always think Pep wanted to revert it back to type, which was possession, tiki-taka base, bit quicker. I don't think he wanted to do the transitional football.
And that's a fair criticism to have maybe about Pep this season.
Yeah, I think what we've got is we have two CDMs. One couldn't play tiki-taka, and the other one couldn't play transitional. Because Rodri can't do transitional.
Yeah.
And Nico G can't do tiki-taka because he can't move the ball forward quick enough. And Rodri is no good. He's not quick enough to get the ball going over the top for him to start running up onto. Rodri needs the ball to feet to turn back to goal and start moving the ball around. So you've got two sixes that need to actually play two different styles to get the best out of them. And that's the weird situation with this. That's all I've said about Nico G. I've said the same about Rodri, but all anyone is you're slagging Nico G. I'm not.
You got an agenda.
Not every striker scores the same play. Each striker, Aguero is not Haaland, and vice versa. But they both scored shitloads of goals.
You still got an agenda, Martin. That's all that people care about.
Well, listen, Pep's got an agenda as well, then, because he's left him at home.
Yeah, and that's kind of why I like Maresca's style of play, because it is possession based, but it does seem to be quicker at times.
Yeah.
Now, listen, I mean, honestly, like, I've defended Nico G over the last few weeks, feels like months, but you know, even I could admit the writing's on the wall for him right now. I agree with what you just said, Martin. I absolutely do. I think he is a good player. I really do. He's not Rodri levels and maybe never will be. He definitely helped us at the beginning of the season. He definitely brought something to this team. But I think at this moment, this time, he might not have a future at City, and that's just the way it goes sometimes. I've said it about Reinders. Sometimes it just maybe not the right club. The one thing I will say is, again, as I said, with every player right now, is that with the imminent departure of Pep, and if it is Maresca coming in, then he gets another chance, possibly. It all depends on Maresca and ultimately Nico G, as it does with all the players.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I'm going to invite Trevor on in a minute. The one thing I would say is Pep and Maresca talk. They're very close. Yeah. I don't know if you've heard the Jack Gorn City Social with Stephen McInerney today. He says that they're very close.
Yeah.
So if you think Pep's not passing on feedback to Maresca, this is what I mean.
Of course. Come on, man.
I don't agree with everyone's got a clean slate. Rico Lewis does not have a clean slate.
Right. You're shit.
No.
Yeah.
No.
You know, I'm sorry. People doing this Trafford thing. What I've heard, Trafford's going no matter what.
Yeah, he's gone.
Yeah, we've got. I know everyone's doing. You can't give everyone a clean slate. Otherwise, we might as well not sign anybody then.
Maresca liked Trafford at the EDS. What you mean, Martin? He liked them at EDS.
Honestly, you realise it, right? The amount of people on X that have accounts on X that are all Trafford Glazers, I'll have the biggest meltdown in human history when he goes out the door. Honestly, like, people need to understand this, right? We don't control the club. We're just fans. The club will always be the club. It's like house. Like the house always wins. Like we are just people that support the club. We don't just like what happens.
We just keep putting the money in, and we
mainly lose. House always wins. Yeah, tough shit. I want Trafford.
Yeah,
you're gonna like it.
See, the trouble is, do you know what people don't like? And I think the Nico and even the Guardiola thing is weird. Nobody wants to talk tactical anymore. People, I don't know whether it's to get bored of tactics or they don't understand tactics or they just want to look at stats. And I get it. Every fan is different. Some are stats based, some are tactics based. I understand that. Totally understand that. But for me, we want to do more deeper analytical stuff. Think about things. Let's get people thinking. It's why Treb's a great addition to the channel, because he makes people think. It isn't just, right, get a player. What does that player add to our team that we are currently missing? What does he bring that we don't have? But what is he going to look at? People, I don't just want to get, well, we've been linked with this kid. Right, but what, I've watched him twice. Great. You think scouting a player is twice. And that's your view.
Yeah.
That's your view. I understand that.
But
you allowed
don't back that up, I'm afraid. Do you know what I mean?
It's not factual. It's your opinion.
I mean, you have to look at Donnarumma's stats since he came into the league. Like, he's only just behind Raya. And the only reason he's behind Raya really is because Raya started the season. Yeah. And he has stopped so many goals going into the back of the net. And what is the one thing a keeper needs to do? Keep the ball out of the back of the net.
But then you get this, and Andrew there being sarcastic. You have no standards. I get it. We don't. And that's what people say. You've no standards. No, you don't have the skills and the brains to sit down and really think about stuff. Don't mean that out of mad. The people who use the standards thing is bullshit. Every football team has standards.
How many times did Donnarumma save our ass against Bournemouth?
Yeah, no one sits. Well, exactly. Yeah. No one sits there and goes, "Do you know what?"
But the Bournemouth goal, we should have said it was a great finish from Krupa.
10 out of 10. I love it. We're going to talk about that in a bit. We've got loads. Sorry, this will probably be another 4-hour show, so Ozzy will probably piss off in about half an hour. Ozzy runs low at 2 hours. His energy dies.
To be fair, Mike, I normally have work the next day. So that's why I've been leaving.
Listen, don't get me on AHS at the minute. I'm not having a good time. I've got a complaint with pals at the moment. It's not gone down well.
We'll talk about off air.
I'm not digging at the NHS. I'm having a very bad time at the minute. I think it's more. Listen, you work hard, but
I think that home kit. I'm definitely get myself it on Manchester at the weekend. It looks so good. That kit. So
Andrew,
nice.
You wound me up last night. The amount of messages you were sending me and photographs, Sunshine. By the way, yes, the test event went very well. Everyone enjoyed it. The reason I didn't go is I'm not a hypocrite. I can't be a hypocrite. We can't, as a channel, back fans on prices and then I'm off to the newsstand for a free drink. I'm not going to do that. No, I'm not. I'm going to stick to my principles. I'm a man who sticks to his principles. I am. Sorry, I am.
And you know what? Guys, I was working, so.
Yeah, and that is spot on. By the way, we got offered tickets, which Ozzy will tell you. We got offered tickets for free. We couldn't go. I didn't want to go, which Ozzy will confirm as well. Ozzy was working. Yeah. Obviously, Rich and Pat couldn't go because they're not getting a flight over for a 2-hour event. You know, Jesus. 10 times bigger flight than what it would have. Pat might have done, yeah. This is never truer comment tonight. We've been spoiled under Pep.
Yeah.
But we have strong foundations for any. That is spot on that. Well done.
Maresca's honestly, right? People say, Maresca's a shit manager. Do you actually watch him his football? Or do you just assume what everyone says on X? So X is the go-to opinion. Like Maresca, literally, right? If you actually watch the video, right? Look at the way the players are in treble year with Maresca. Maresca in that final at half time is with Pep, a tactical board, changing things up, deciding what to do. As Mark said previously, the John Stones DM thing was a Maresca strategy that got us over the line. The centre backs as well. I'm not saying he's going to us treble, by the way, but Maresca is set perfectly to go in that squad, improve it, and probably get us into a league position this year. I'm not saying Pep couldn't do it anyway, but Maresca's a new manager, fresh ideas. I think he'll go in there and do a really good job, I reckon, summer.
Well, you know what, Luke? I mean, I'm going to be honest because I mean, I've been saying for weeks ever since the news kind of was breaking that I was so. I mean, Martin, you can testify. I was so kind of like Pepe's not leaving. Like he's just not going. I don't care what the news is.
He actually apologised to me today, so big up.
Not sure what
I'm
that
not going to
was.
say.
All right.
I did say it was the one thing I didn't want to be right on. I did say that.
Yeah.
With the trust me, there was no joy in this.
No, of course there wasn't, mate. And it's not about, as you said, you know, we've talked about it privately, but it wasn't about who was right or wrong. Because I mean, ultimately, Martin would have loved to have been wrong about this, and so would Tone. Do you know what I mean? They would have loved to have been wrong, but that's just not the case. But for me, you know, I had the last few days to think about it, and you know, I've come to the realization that you know, it just for Pep it makes a lot of sense. You know, I think he's come, you know, he's been a decade at this club, and that's such a long time. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it does feel this is maybe just the right time to go. You know, and I've accepted that. You know, the last few days, you know, I've thought about it more and more. And yes, I'm sad that he's going, you know, because of what he's done and what he's achieved. But honestly, like, yeah, it's. And thinking about Maresca, do you know what I mean? If he is the person that's coming in, which it's looking like it is, you know, my mind's been changed on him, and I've really done some research, like I'm sure we all have. I mean, you just mentioned some of it, Luke, you know, about the whole, you know, centre-backs, you know, having the back line and having John Stones inverting. You know, the images and the videos that have come out of when Maresca was at the club with the players, you know, with Harden embracing them. The reports that were coming out, the reports that were coming out of Chelsea when he left, that all the players were seriously good. They loved him. They thought he was brilliant. They were all like, we don't want this guy to go. Seriano and Cheeky and all the board were really impressed with Maresca when he was at City. They were like, he's possibly the next guy. We want to keep hold of him if we can. We want, you know, they honestly thought he was brilliant. Chelsea thought he was brilliant, otherwise they wouldn't have signed him. I know they've had some massive duds of late, but Chelsea are a serious club. When they weren't so crazy and basket, but they were a club that had ambitions, and they saw, you know, what he was capable of and what he achieved under them. Do you know what I mean? As you just said, Luke, like he achieved a lot, even though they're a basket case of the club right now. You know, what he achieved under them was still really good. So you look at everything that Maresca is and what he's achieved while he was at City and with Chelsea and at Leicester. Let's not forget that, you know, he got them promoted and won the championship. So, you know, absolutely, this is a manager that I think is ultimately, for me, I think he is the best suit coming into City. I think he is the best replacement because there 100%. Isn't another Pep Guardiola out there. There isn't. You know, we can all turn around and say companies. I think in our hearts, Enrique's a little different, but I think we'd all, in our hearts, we'd all love company to come in and take over.
But not right now. Not right now.
But yeah,
Pep.
Right now, no. It's not just right now for us. I think to follow Pep is a big thing. I don't think anyone. I mean, Enrique. I think Enzo is probably the person I would choose right now, but I don't think anybody else, like the company's ready to do that. I think he's got a project to buy me in. I think he wants to build upon that with the players that he's got, and good luck to him. And I think that's fantastic for him. And I think Enrique at PSG, he's building something. You know, they're on course to winning Champions League back to back. Does he really want to leave that right now with that group of players? Do you know what I mean? So for me, Maresca is the right candidate to come in. I really do.
And I'm intrigued as well. I'm intrigued to see what he does with Phil and Cherky. Because you know what it is, right? How was a Palmer was really good. So I want to see. I want to see with Foden how he differs with Pep. No. Pep's done incredibly well with him, by the way, with Phil over the last 10 years. Incredible work. But maybe a different voice might give him something different to sort of think about. I'm not, you know what I mean? Like, it always helps to have someone different to sort of represent his skills. So I think Phil and checking it this year, I'm excited to see more of them two under Maresca for sure.
I think it's an exciting time. I really do. I think this is an exciting moment. You know, you look at when Ferguson left United, that was a massively aging squad. It was it was that club was teetering on the verge of collapse.
And Percy
Even
carried them.
while Ferguson was there. You look at Chelsea and what they've done.
Just while Sandra, I'll go into the update because everyone's been asking me all day, why is the announcement not come? I will always say reportedly, just covered because reportedly is the club, Pep especially, when we're going to talk about these in a minute, wants to be very respectful to Bernardo and John Stones.
Mm-hmm.
Very respectful to those two. The minute that story drops, the minute that official word is out, the John Stones Bernardo hype will go. And Sunday will be nothing but Pep Guardiola. That is the last thing Pep Guardiola wants, because as he said, he puts his players above himself. Which I actually agree with. Pep doesn't want a big hoo-ha of a good, doesn't want a 6-month long goodbye, doesn't want the date. Yes, it will probably be out by Sunday. But I think the way Pep and the club are looking at it is Sunday is Stones and Bernardo. And I think the Monday will be the Pep. Some won't like that because they're not going to see it in the co-op. Maybe that's something the club has to, I don't know. Because I heard Natalie Pike. We were talking about this when we were on the way down to Bournemouth. We got sent a clip. She did, that William Hill podcast that she does. Yeah. They asked her about it, and she said, I will tell everyone Monday. It's like everyone's been told, don't say a word, nothing. Yeah. Everyone's got Monday in the head.
Mm.
That's why I don't know why the rumours were like, all the people on Twitter were going, oh, it's today. No, it wasn't.
What?
The club are in control here. Not the club are in control of this now. Pep is in control of this. You saw the difference on Tuesday night. It went from, he still said, I've still got one more year. Then it slightly changed to, I need to speak to my chairman. The chairman already bloody knows. He's the one who's been negotiating with bloody Maresca. It's not daft.
Yeah.
So I heard this. The players only got told 3 days ago. Really? Is that what we really think? It's like everyone's, he's been run out of time with Arteta. 115 is going to hit. So he's going because the club have lied to him. No. I know everyone.
To be fair about the players only found out 3 days ago. That was reported by exactly the same people who've been reporting that Pep's gone. By the way, I've accepted that Pep's going. I have 0.001.
Have you still got a 0.001%?
Of course. Who wouldn't? It's not.
Yeah,
copium.
I know. Listen,
if you say copium, you haven't read anything I've written about this, and you haven't listened to me. It's just annoying and patronizing when you say copium or denial. It just irritates me. Don't do that. Go and read what I wrote about it. It's more than one paragraph. Up to you.
What you're after, Trev, is better reporting from it.
What I'm after is better reporting. Correct. Absolutely correct. And I'm also hoping by paying such attention to this massive story that some people have learned some of the devices that the media use, especially passive attribution. Passive attribution is really important. And when you see it in any story, you can assume that the story is not worth very much. So, but yeah, I'm there. Pep's going. It's the end of term. We all should have brought games.
I like that. End of term. It's like the end of school.
End of term, right?
We're leaving school.
Jelly and ice cream. You know what I mean? And
I don't know what to do Monday. From Tuesday, we're just going to wing it on the channel for a month and a half.
Oh no, mate, we are about
winging it for a month and a half.
We are about to see the silliest of silly seasons. Every player will be linked with another club.
Yeah.
Every player that isn't even on the market will be coming in. The ITKs will be sat there with their lads in their hand, having a big wank over everything. And people will be lapping it up and enjoying the shit out of it. And we'll all be sat here going, oh, fuck off. Do you know what I mean? Because
So the one thing I will say though,
be
Mike,
very
is what
careful about passive attribution is really important, and I'm hoping that in the silly season, everybody understands passive attribution. You understand what those two main sentences, but I want everyone to understand that. It's a bit of a mission.
We want people to think deeper. This is what we want to do. We want to think different. Right. It's like I've seen everyone this week do this. Right, who's going, who's staying? And they just start naming it. There's no, but if he leaves, what do we lose? If he goes, what does he bring? There's none of that. Everyone's just like,
names.
If I did who's leaving and who's going, Lee, every single channel and Twitter, and this is not a dig at any channels, by the way. I love everyone, but everyone will have the same list. They'll have Ake on it, they'll have Kovacic on it, they'll have Trafford on it, they'll have everyone will have it on. It's the exact same list. And you go, why? Because they're old. They're an unk.
Exactly.
That's it.
You mentioned it before. You mentioned it before. My favorite question is this. Instead of thinking of the names that are leaving and the names that are coming in, think about the skills and qualities and abilities that we are losing, and then look to compensate for those by who we should be buying. Yeah. That will give you a more logical, rational way to look at this, and not the fashion, the ITK bullshit, the ITK facts. Some of them are truthful, but it's a much better conversation to say, what do we lose? We started this when Rodri leaving fever was at its peak a couple of weeks ago. That's how quick things move, right?
It's back now, Trev. It's back.
I agree with you guys, but I don't think we can I think the name does have some weight to it too. I don't think.
But it comes after establishing why.
Yeah.
Well, it's like this one. By the way, you put in Neil. Maybe Maresca will like Gonzalez in the system. That's a fair question. But why are we trying to buy two midfielders then? Someone has to leave. This is the pattern. This is what I said earlier. We can't give everyone a fresh, clean start because we still have too many players now, even with two gone. You add Anderson in, you've still too many. If you want to bring in, this is what has been reported, two midfielders, a winger and a right back, that's 4. Your squad's at 28. You take 2 away in Bernardo and John Stones, 26. You add your 4 up, that's 30. You've got 5 that needs to drop still. You're only allowed to register 25.
But Mike, we're more likely losing 7 players in the sum of the way.
But we've just got to be. It's not as. But again, free contracts is easier. It's like last season. The club were actually willing. I got told this. The club were willing to sell Kovacic and Stones last season. Nobody bidded. Stones went, I don't want to go. Which is rightfully, he's under contract. He doesn't have to go.
Kobe had an injury. Yeah, Kobe had an injury.
If Ake turns around this summer and goes, do you know what? I don't want to go. I'll see out my last year. The club can't do jack shit at that point unless they pay off his contract. Same with Kovacic. Now, they may want to leave, but it's not 100% guaranteed that they leave because they've got a question. They're on good money. Like John Stones was on $250,000 a week. Yes, we might think it's a lot of money for what he's doing, but he's earned that money because of what he's previously done. Your wage is not based on your performance. It's based on what the club value you at and what you've done. But you can't change wage halfway through a contract.
Calvin Phillips.
Yeah, we can't say to Calvin Phillips, oh crap, you've not been too good. Can we have a chat about you 150? How about dropping a 50k? No, you've got a legally binding contract. You can't do it. That's why there was a big thing in the UK. To what topic here? Remember when 0-hour contracts came in? That was massive. Everyone flipped the lid for that because they're like, well, if I don't work, I don't get paid. Football ain't like that. It's guaranteed contracts. They get paid whether they're injured, play, don't play. Where they lose is bonuses. Bonuses is where they lose because some will have an appearance bonus. Some will have a goal scoring bonus. Donnarumma will have a clean sheet bonus.
Stefan did a great bit. It's not to everyone's interest, but he's really good at this stuff. And he did a bit about how Southampton's bonus schemes is now a disaster because they've been kicked out, and how critical it is into the financial running of clubs. You know, and they're not just in the shit for this, but they're down tens of millions of dollars, not just in the opportunity for promotion, but the players are going to be asked because they're down, and it's in the tens of millions. You have to read it. I can't remember all of it, but you know, Stefan's brilliant at this stuff, right? You know, and it's worth a read if you go and look it up. But he you know, he was saying, so these are huge parts of how players think, or how their agents have to think.
Football careers are very short.
And I know, I'm sorry to cut you off, Mar. I know Tone brought up Gusto. I know you brought up Gusto. But today people have said that we're the favorites for Reed. So,
oh yeah, we're going to be linked with every Chelsea player under the sun now.
Yeah.
Oh,
We
yeah,
heard the other
exactly.
day Cucurella. Now the Cucurella one wouldn't actually surprise me because that's someone City, the club have had on the radar. Not Pep.
We nearly signed him before Chelsea did.
We tried to sign him, but Brighton did us a bit dirty. And he wanted to come to City as well. Cucurella, remember, he did an interview and he was done until Brighton went, yeah, can we have 60 million? And we went, what?
That comment from Curtis that's just
70
gone.
million in the end.
That comment from Curtis that's just gone. Here, some guy on AFTV said that Pep is getting out.
Big up, Tom, by the way.
We know that. And then Rodri and Haaland will follow suit. This is what I mean about the greatest silly season we've ever seen. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Because they all have to go to extremes, the more performatively hysterical channels. So they're in a race to the bottom for hysterical rumours. And it will be amplified further than Twitter because AFTV is a massive channel. And what they say gets repeated online exponentially by idiots. You know, and so, yeah.
Can I ask you a question, though? I mean, just because I'm curious, honestly. Haaland, I think, I don't see Haaland going, I really don't. But it has been reported today, obviously, and it does fall in the lines of what you've just been saying about kind of overblown reports. But with Rodri having a year left, and with, I mean, I know Martin made the comment saying the players didn't find out 3 days ago, but I mean, when they got off that Bournemouth bus, a lot of them did look like they'd only just found out. I think they probably only found out recently. I don't know how far back, but I would imagine Pep and the club would have wanted to keep it from some of the players at least, because they would have thought we don't want them to kind of be hit like when Klopp, and it was announced he was leaving 6 months before. So with Rodri, he's a player that I think has been so instrumental and so important to City, to Pep, his relationship with Pep. Is there a possibility, though, that he could? I'm only asking the question. I don't think he will, but is there a possibility that he may decide? You know what? I'm 29. I've won everything at City. I've been under the best manager in the world. He's now going. Is it now time for me to think?
Of course, I did this cartoon called Schrodinger's Pep. Some people got it, some people didn't. But it was a bunch of journalists screaming at a box. This was a week ago. Screaming at a box, open, 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 because that was the appetite for the. And Rodri's another Schrodinger's. It's Schrodinger's Rodri. We don't know until the box is open, and yet what we'll see, because the follow-up when I reposted the cartoon was that people are now reporting, despite the box still being closed, that the cat's definitely dead. And that's what will happen, because this narrative will change very quickly to Rodri's definitely going, and catastrophizing among our own fan base will kind of make it feel more real. So it's a binary. It's a 1 or a 0. He will or he won't. Nobody knows.
A bit like Pep, though, wasn't it? Like we didn't know with Pep.
Is it good for the? All I care about is it good for the club? The real question may be, is he goes on a free next season. So is it good for the club to get 80, whatever he's going to be for in exchange for that year? Because that's what we're talking about. Ideally, we all want him to extend. Of course we do. And the club have offered him what he wants, I believe. And so, but it's a 1 or a 0, mate. You know, it's Schrodinger's Rodri now. But like I said, a lot of noise will make it seem like he's definitely doing. And the appetite for that noise is not just rivals, it's us. It's our fans who want to catastrophize by imagining that he's already gone. And we did that with Pep prematurely. Obviously, that's my opinion. But yeah, but that's going to happen. And it might happen with other players. So, yeah, we don't. The shit answer to your great question is, I don't know. Duh.
But by the way, I was saying, because I've got
took me a long time to get there.
People are talking about Donnarumma in the chat. I actually think Donnarumma in the last 3 games has massively improved on his crossing. He caught 3 on Tuesday night. He caught 3 in the last game. People aren't noticing it, though, because what they've done is they've gone, all right, because they won't accept now, right? Every keeper. I remember David De Gea. David De Gea, in his first season for United, there was jokes. He couldn't cross a road. It's not stopping was a magnificent. Couldn't pass out, couldn't cross a road, couldn't do anything. The season after, he was phenomenal. He was goalkeeper of the season. He was winning everything. He became one of the top goal. Now, for me, yes, Donnarumma has not been. His crossing, his catching does need to improve. But I've also seen Trafford in the cup final. He punched a couple. He didn't catch him. He punched him. What people don't realise is a goalkeeper will make a decision. If I've got people around there, they're going to punch it more. Why? Because they can go bang, get rid of it, and it's gone. If they've got less people around them, they'll get up and they'll catch.
But there's also the Arsenalisation of corners, which infected. There was a contagion amongst other teams, especially the least talented teams, the teams with the worst strikers, adopted the Arsenalisation of corners. The goalies have never had to deal with that. This is the first season. Well, maybe a little bit the previous season, but this season, everybody caught the virus. Everybody average caught the virus. Some teams didn't bother copying it. And that's a whole new thing. Having a man in a corner, an attacker on a corner or a midfielder on a corner whose only mission is to leg it into the keeper. That's pretty new. It's existed kind of, but this season was the only season where we've seen it adopted by a lot of teams. And trust me, you can watch loads of corners from teams that do it, and you will see that there is one man whose only job is not to get to the ball, not to do anything but to barge the keeper. That's why Nardo's been our guy who ran interference. Bless him, he's 5'0", you know, but he's done it really well because he's got that low center of gravity. So I think keepers have had a whole new thing to deal with this season. And so
this season more than others, though, Trev, has been WWF in that box.
Yeah. So can we start generalising about keepers' skills on corners?
Guys, right, 1 minute. Right. Can we not attack Igal? Just wishing congratulations. Igal, congrats. You won the league. Some of your fans have gone over the top. It is what it is. I expect it. You're excited. But I get it. You're the greatest team in the history of the world again. And you've chased the Pep out of town, which you haven't. And it's nothing to do with what... I had a debate today with Catch. And he was like, is it to do? I went, no, it's nothing to do with 115. Nothing to do with Arteta running him out. Listen,
but it was obvious that they would say
if you want me to do the fairy story for you, that Arteta has ran a Pep out because it makes you feel better. Fine, you live in your little fantasy world.
Carry on.
It is what it is. Pep was going, from my understanding, from December. It was all gone from then. Pep hadn't made his final decision in December, but it was in the conversations were there. Hence the Maresca Cup meeting. Right? Pep has recently made the decision. But there was Pep had not made his final decision until recent, is what I believe.
Well, from what
there was
reports,
talks
Martin,
in December.
From all reports, Martin, I think actually it even goes a little bit further back than that. I think he was planning to leave at the end of last season, but I think Pep felt that he couldn't leave.
Well, the rumours are Khaldoon begged him to stay.
Yeah, and he did. Do you know what I mean? I also think he didn't want to leave this squad in the way it was.
Yes, it is. And that's all I'll go into with that Pepper squad. That's all I'll go into.
I think it's likely that Khaldoon will try to make him stay in the meeting, or did try to make him stay if the meeting has already happened. Although I've had someone on private jet watch for Khaldoon, for Khaldoon's PJ. I just put it out there. I went, does anyone know any of those flight watch nerds? To see, because it won't be a Zoom call, right? It will be in person. And apparently Khaldoon, up until yesterday when I last checked, there's no PJs coming that could have Khaldoon on them. So he might be on a Ryanair, who knows? But I don't think he does, coach class. So this isn't cope. This is another conversation. Will Khaldoon want him to stay? Will Khaldoon try to make him stay?
Khaldoon will always want him to stay.
Yeah, and I find that fascinating, and it's such a tribute to Pep that the best managing director / owner that we could have rates him that much that he will be asking Pep to stay. It's going to be an emotional conversation for both of them,
Don't do that. I can't be that shameless. Come on.
I wonder if one Pep will stay, though.
No.
Stop it. I'm almost there.
Well, they know. No, mate, let it go. He's done.
Yeah.
No.
Someone said, give us some hope. How often have I said on the channel, hope is the currency?
No, I know. No, but this is where the copium is coming in with Ozzy. Ozzy is
No, you're not listening to me. Guys, you're completely off. I'm not talking about Pep Guardiola. I'm talking about Pep Linders. Is there a possibility
Pep Linders. Oh, yeah, I've got an update on that I'll give you later.
Okay.
Well,
listen, Styles, you don't do that because you're not saying Natalie Pike is a wonderful presenter because you think she's a wonderful presenter. Because you're not listening to her skills, you're watching other things. Yeah, exactly. And listen, Natalie, I'm not going to start. Natalie's great.
I don't mean in a sexist, patronising way. She is a brilliant presenter as well.
Yeah, by the way, so I think I saw today. Someone went, obviously the news has come out. Diaz has broken up with my Jamadilla. Diaz will start playing well again.
Yeah. Because influencers bring only drama to your life.
What? So you think because Diaz had a girlfriend was making him play bad?
It's possible, plausible. Not possible, plausible.
So
Influencers, their business is to generate drama in everything they do. Imagine living with someone who does that.
I mean, Jesus, I understand we've got to get clicks, but my God, there's clicks and then there's bullshit. That goes in the bullshit category, that one. Fair enough.
I'll tell you the thing with Diaz.
I can't be having Haaland had an off season because he's been married. Bloody hell. So what?
Now they've got to be single. They were 15, for God's sake. It's not a big change for him. He just finally gave up and gave her half a house. Should things go
right?
wrong.
I want to go into the main thing. Couple of super chats.
Can I just say something that's a bit off topic? I watched an interview with Luke. I don't know where he's gone because I wanted to compliment him on it. It's on the what's it called? The TBV show. And Luke did an interview about his journey as a City fan and quite a bit of his life. It's really worth watching. So I'll put the link in the comments because, I mean, nobody knows much about the background of all of us, and that's fine. Probably preferable in some ways. But Luke, it was an absolutely brilliant interview, and you shared a lot, and it's worth everybody's time, is what I'm saying.
Well, which brings me into a spoiler. I haven't even told the lads yet. Do you remember? And Andy may kill me for this, but I thought it was a great idea. We did a show on Man City on TV. And we're not going to call it the same, but it was a piece. Ozzy, you'll remember this, where we brought fans in and we interviewed them on how they became a City fan, what made them become a City fan, their journey as a Blue. And we're gonna bring that back over the summer, see how it goes. So if you do want to be part of that, email us. You can even ask who you want to host. You can have Ozzy, me, whoever you want. We'll get it. And I just think it'd be a nice idea, something a bit different over the summer, instead of, because listen, we don't just want to do the transfer stuff. I know everyone will want to do that. I know we're not doing World Cup stuff because I couldn't give a shit. The only thing we're going to do on World Cup is I'm going to give you the England list of the players not going. Jesus, that list is the who's who. Spoiler: James Trafford is not going. Neither's Foden.
No, he is going. He is going.
Is that?
I thought James Trafford had been announced.
No.
Yeah, he's going. He's going. It's Pickford, Dean Henderson, and James
Oh,
Trafford.
yeah. Sorry, no, he is going. Yeah, sorry.
I thought he was.
I've got the wrong list up. Yeah, because there's two lists. I've looked at the wrong list. Yeah, so sorry, Trafford is going. Gay is going. John Stones is going, by the way.
I smell an agenda. That was an agenda with that one.
Cole Palmer is actually going, so there was one. Foden has missed out. I'm happy about that. I'm over the moon. Foden's not going. I know Foden won't. Foden will be upset, no doubt, because I think every player wants to go to a World Cup. Let's just hope this motivates Foden into pushing on for next season. Nico Riley is going, which is amazing, by the way. So big up to Nico on that. That is, you know what? One day we will do a show on that and the rise of that lad. Because this is all in 18 months he's done this, which is fucking outstanding.
City's Player of the Year candidate.
Yeah.
He deserves it.
For me, he is Player of the Year. But we'll get onto that. We'll get onto that when we do our end of season review. These super chats, and then I want to get into the glazing of Stones and Bernardo. Belly 81, member for 3 years. Big up, Mil Mocha. Thank you. Don't forget, there is a new membership tier as well, the Johnny Stones tier, where $1.99 a month, you do get a fast pass to the front of the queue on the phone and calling shows.
And a dog that you have to call Johnny Stones. That was little baby.
And you also get to have Rich rant at you for an hour. Just to you, nobody else.
Amar with the £2. Thank you very much. I have zero agendas. I just want more specificity. Yeah, I hear what you're saying. Thank you, but I don't agree with the agenda part because I think you go a bit too harsh on some of the players. Saying someone's shit is not constructive criticism. That's just saying the shit.
Yeah. Insert name here is shit.
Yeah, that's
give us a little bit more than that.
Yeah, that's not criticism. That's just saying the shit. There's no substance behind it.
Something Tone would say. Do you know what I mean?
It's like me when I was a teacher saying to the kids, God, you're thick. It's like me. If I went up to the kids and went, you're thick, I'd lose my job. There's no constructive feedback to that. I've got to say, right, this is what you should have done better. This is what you did well at. This is what we can look at improving at.
How'd that go, Martin?
I had to give up my job. But it is. Right. Bernardo Silva and John Stones. The videos are all out there to see. I watched them once. I cried. I'm going to try again on Sunday.
I'm not really...
Sunday. I'm not looking forward to. I'm not going to lie. I'm just taking my tissues and I'm going to just. Do you know what? Sunday's something where I actually don't give a shit about the game actually in any way, shape, or form for the first time ever, because we can't move anywhere. We're second. It's kind of. I mean, I feel for Sky Sports. It's kind of boring for them. They've only got this West Ham Tottenham thing, and that's it.
I'm going to have that on my second screen, though.
Yeah, we're all going to be watching that game secretly, let's be honest.
Yeah, Rodri has a contract offer, no decision. Gavardio has had a contract offer as well.
Source.
No decision yet.
Source.
He's got a contract till 2028 though. So
yeah, his contract, but Gavardio has 100% been offered a contract. Rodriguez has been on the table for a while. Even though I have read the thing today, apparently Fabrizio Romano saying he's Real Madrid, what him and he wants Real Madrid again. And listen, we'll see. We'll see.
The silliest of seasons.
Listen, if he wants to go and play under, I believe, Jose Mourinho and under that team as well at Real Madrid, good luck to him. Like, dear God, that's amazing.
Listen, any place you don't want to be here, go.
Yeah, go. Just go.
Yes, Malo Gusto. We'll go into this more tomorrow with Tone. Gusto is of interest. Listen, we're going to get linked with everyone. The Enzo Fernandez, I don't want anyone near because I'm going to say it again. I don't want a racist anywhere near the football club because I think racists are the low of the low in society. And I don't want to, especially Manchester, as Trevor said 1,000 times, just come to Manchester, you'll see what it's about. And you'll understand why Mancunians and probably everyone do not like racists because we are one of the most cosmopolitan cities in England. And it needs to be stopped. Needs to be stopped, looked at. It needs to be just, yeah. If you're using, I saw something today and I'm not going to say what it was. And I don't care if it's called a troll football account. It can go and fuck itself from a very high height. Don't call yourself a troll football. Using 9/11 as a troll, as banter, is disgusting.
Out of order.
And if that's where we're going for football content now, then football content is going in the mud. I would rather have 5 people watching us of sensibility than lower ourselves to that standard for clicks.
If you've not seen it, what they did was that they put one of the jets has already crashed into the Twin Towers. The Twin Towers has a Man City badge on it. And the other jet that's going to crash into Tower 2 has an Arsenal badge on it. Scum.
With the Champions League.
2,606 people died.
Yeah. So what they're saying is they demolished the first tower winning the Premier League. The second tower's going down.
Oh, yeah. That was the other one. The second tower was PSG. Absolute scum.
3,000 people died on that day and many thousands after it.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, I've got hot news for Copium fans. Luis Enrique on Pep leaving. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Maybe you know more than I do. I have no idea. And besides,
don't say that because everyone will say he's trying to get the job, Trev.
Fair enough. And besides, when we talk, we don't talk about other things. We practically don't talk about football, but I don't believe it. And moreover, I don't want to believe it. That's my man. It's because I'd like him to be there for many, many years. And so say I.
Right. Is Ariano, we'll start with you, mate. Good evening. Is the Bernardo Stone stuff for we? I'm going to say this. I don't remember doing this sort of goodbye for a KDB or a David Silva. We're really milking these two. These two are getting the biggest goodbye I've ever seen at the club.
I'm not ready. I can't even watch the video.
Hello.
Hello, you guys hear me now?
Ed? Yeah, can hear you now. Bit louder, mate. Hello. Good
Bad connection. I'll go right quick. I would just say that maybe because this maybe is the last of the last bunch of the famous team that we did have. Maybe they want to do something special, especially with the speculation of Pep leaving alongside them as well. I think that's maybe why they're getting all this out to go.
Yeah.
Because it is like the old guard leaving that won us everything.
And like they're some of the last ones, so they're gonna make it special for sure.
I know.
Maybe they thought that they didn't make as much of a fuss as they should have about Kev, and now they're trying to correct the course. You know,
Well,
and
we've
I
got to
think
remember this is probably because they're both going together, so it only adds to it.
it's a
I
double.
Saying
also
that,
think
though, I do think KDB he got a big send off at the stadium because he got fireworks and the lights
Yeah.
went down. He
Yeah.
got like a big. It was more at the stadium for KDB than it was online. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
This
also
is-
think
this
as well,
feels
though,
more
like you look at Aguero and David Silva. Do you know what I mean? It was the height of kind of, well, not so much for Aguero, but for Silva. COVID played a big factor in those two not having probably send off that they should have done.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I think the club did regret not having proper send offs for those players as well. So I think maybe them catching up now with these players that have been with us for a long time and added so much. I think it makes a lot of sense to kind of give them a really good send off.
It's also great marketing. It's great marketing to players considering coming to our club. Younger players, it establishes an authority, an identity. It's a very public statement of how much this club loves its players, both as an institution and as the fans. And I think that when players have got equal offers from two big clubs or someone shit like Man United, then they're going to see these things and go, I want to buy in. I will buy into that. I will buy into that institution and those fans because look at how they treat you. So it's also, in a cynical way of looking at it, it's good business as well, but we love it.
And we've got to
You're
remember
also
that,
right on the respects of that with the club and the reputation of the club, how well they look after the players. Which, that is well documented that the players have turned around and said that they look after every piece of our life, not just on the field, but off the field in their personal lives as well. These players are seriously well looked after compared to other clubs throughout the world, even some of the big boys.
I think we as City fans see that content, but I think these leaving things will be covered on national media, and so it's just distributed to a bigger audience, potentially those players or their agents or their mum and dad, whatever. Maybe. I'm on thin ice there. I know.
I just need to do these as well, by the way, because Foggy's a legend again. Big up, mate. With the Johnny Stones gifted. Thank you so much. 10 memberships from Foggy. W's in the chat from Foggy. Big up, mate. I hope you are well and lovely to see you again. And Outdoor Benj has become a brand new YouTube member as well. Thank you so much.
Mate.
You, sir, are a legend. I don't know why Alan's waffling in the chat about Palmer and Foden again because he's going. What they do. Alan, just to give you a little stat, Palmer has 10 goals and 3 assists this season. Phil Foden has 10 goals and 7 assists.
Yeah.
Just chucking that out there, Alan. So factually, Foden has more G&A than Cole Palmer.
Oh, yeah, and Palmer
has been injured, though, so it has put that into some context as well.
Well, Foden's not played for the last 5 years.
No, I know. I'm just saying.
Perspective.
I know. I'm just saying. I want to put that in there before somebody in the comments or Alan himself.
That's unfair because where do you start the improvement?
I actually agree with you, Martin.
The Donnarumma is now starting to get very forced. It's getting very forced.
And neither Donnarumma or Trafford faced corners like the corners we've seen this season. It's new.
The problem is, Trev,
every keeper has a new challenge.
Are you now
I don't
seeing
think it's.
Are you now seeing this Donnarumma thing is now getting a bit forced? Surely.
At times, because yes, I think he's had good games recently. I'll agree on that. He has improved his claiming and that. But if I just want to see it more consistently, and I'll give him the credit. I just want to see it more consistently.
Yeah, we could say that about every player.
It's like saying Rodri in his first season at City was garbage, like Alan called him, plodder. Right, so he can never improve then. Donnarumma can have faults. He can improve. The improvement, instead of starting next year, they started at the back end of the season for the last few games. What's wrong with saying that? I don't think it's I think people are. I'm sorry. I think the Donnarumma thing has become a very nasty, hateful thing, and I don't get it. I don't get it because you can't say, "Well, he's not improving at his catching." Well, he is.
Well, yeah,
My mic went off there, but yeah, I agree. He has improved a lot. But
No.
Trev, you made
Like
a point
I said,
that
James Trafford was punching in the FA Cup final. No one said
you
a
know.
word.
By the way, I don't have a problem of him punching at times. It just sometimes he does mess up the punch. Sometimes he does. But
I just
you made
say
a
to
go on.
Where's the super chat? You're in here for free, mate. Flexing Arsenal. That's got to be worth a fiver. Go on.
Here we go. Oh,
Yeah.
Igal's harmless. Igal's just having.
I know, bless him. But you know, it's worth a
Igal's
fiver.
harmless. Listen, Igal is like he backs
if you're
his
a
team.
true Arsenal fan, you'll
He
spend a
gets hyper,
fiver.
and then people don't like it because he's an happy clapper. Let people be happy clappers if they want to be.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, do I agree with what Igal says? No. Does Igal agree with what I say? No.
Does Igal believe everything he says, or does the algorithm tell him what to say?
People
Who knows?
People just want to be hateful. I don't get it.
Yeah, he's all right.
But back
God,
to
sorry, Oriano. I just had to call that out and try and get a.
No, I was just saying. You made a point, Trev, about like the corners and how it's kind of changed in football in general. The problem is, I can push back on that a little bit. Is he's been bad at it his whole career. It isn't just at City. He's done it at PSG, even Inter when he was younger. AC Milan when he was younger. So I don't think it probably has a part, but I don't think the change really affected that part of his game that much. But I agree with Martin. Last 3-4 games, I even think his distribution has been better. Now again, it doesn't mean I still think Trafford was serious more, but I will give him credit. Like he has improved a bit.
Yeah, but like I said, but the David De Gea wasn't great, and then he became. I think people are jumping the gun a little bit, and it is what it is. But no, Bernardo, Martin's too serious. No, because I'm serious sometimes.
Oh, let's just do banter then.
I'll do banter. What more do you want, mate? I'm sorry we have a serious conversation. That's all. I'm sorry we have to make you think a little bit. I don't think Trafford is much better. I don't know. People want. I think we've got the best 1-2 keeper in the league.
I like Gaz.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I think we've got the best. There. You know. Anyone look at everyone. Anyone who's think.
I do want to say something about.
Sorry,
go on.
Ed's got to drop. Ed, do you want to give any thoughts on John Stones and anyone before you drop, mate? Are you still at the gym? I don't know whether you're ever at the gym anymore.
No, I got a client at coming up here soon, but no, I mean, bro, I know I've talked about them on Spaces and this channel a lot. You know, you just thank them for their service. You thank them for all they brought to the club. You know, on the pitch and off the pitch. These are guys that you didn't hear about off the pitch at all. Didn't cause any problems. And also did a lot of charity work for the club. And, you know, I think you just got to give them plaudits, you know, especially for a guy like Bernardo, who was said to be leaving multiple years. He still came in. His head wasn't turned. He did his job to one of the highest levels in the world. So you got to thank them for your you got to thank them for their service. You got to thank them for putting their bodies on the line for us at different times of their career when they didn't have to. And yeah, you thank them for all they've done. You wish them the best at their future clubs.
See, that's a great point, Lee, by the way. Ed, I might do a space in a bit, so you're more than welcome, mate, to come and join us. You go and do some work, you lazy sod. So big up, Ed. Big up, Ed.
Yeah, good to
big up.
By the way, Ed, you got to be careful because I don't hear that Mancunian accent. I'm just checking because apparently I don't have foreign fans on the channel anymore. just saying it, you know. No, big up, Ed. I'll speak to you in a bit, mate.
You all have a good one. You're
a legend.
Yeah, you too, Ed.
W's in the chat for Ed.
Martin, you know, because I said it's the end of term.
Hit the like button, guys. Hit the like button.
Do that.
Yeah, do that, you fraud.
So I said it was kind of like the end of term, and at the end of term at my school, we brought games in to play. You know, I've brought some research in, which I think was really interesting.
Well, he's done homework. We didn't ask for homework, did we, Ozzy? Have I missed someone?
But listen, this is
even if we do it right, you never do it anyway.
Yeah, it's true.
Well, I'm the boss. Boss don't do homework. I'm the head teacher. I give the homework out.
But this is any good, right? Man, Hugo did a poll, Manchester City fans, on the timing of Guardiola's departure and whether they support Enzo Maresca's appointment as manager. Do you want me to send you the link so you can share it, or should I just read it out?
No, just read it out, because some links I can't share because of the StreamYard thing.
Okay, all right. So City at the end of the weekend, blah blah blah. Do you think it's the right thing or the right or wrong time for Pep Guardiola to leave? The right time, 35%. The wrong time, 40%. Not sure, 25%. So only 35% of us think it's the right time for him to leave. 40% believe it's the wrong time for him to leave. And the not sures are 25%. The next question. Overall, would you support or oppose Enzo Maresca becoming Manchester City manager? Strongly or somewhat support, 40%. Neither support nor oppose, 35%. Strongly or somewhat oppose, only 9%. And not sure, 17%. I think that's quite interesting.
Yeah, that is.
Well, I'm going to get into that in a bit. I just want to... does anyone want to say... Because, I mean, for me, John Stones, Bernardo, it's weird because... Do you know what it is? They're like... I was thinking about this the other day. They're literally two of the final missing pieces of that treble era. You've got Haaland, you've got Diaz, you've got Rodri. We don't have with Rodri. And you got Foden. Majority is basically gone. This has been a problem. This is where I don't get when people go, oh, yeah, we bloody rebuilt everything.
Oh, yeah.
From ground to top.
Our old guard is pretty much all gone.
Yeah. And I feel like I'm in a bit of a time with Willie Caballero coming back. Jesus. Like, I do love my big Willie. Pause. DC's not in the chat, so she won't like that. But I've always got time for my big Willie. We were singing about Big Willie on Tuesday night, actually. The Caballero song came back out on Tuesday. we were on the coach coming back thinking, what's the what song can we sing? You know the when the moon beats your eye like a big piece of pie. We were like, that's Maresca. We were sort of like we were like thinking of how we can get this song. What can we sing about him? Because we've got Enzo doesn't really have the same tune to the Pep thing. So, Pep Linders, Colo, I think they're going to leave as well.
I think the songs will have to go with Enzo, by the way. Yeah, I think we'll just have to go with Enzo.
Can I just say about Bernardo and Stones, Martin? Mm-hmm. Like, for me, Bernardo, became the heartbeat of this club under Pep. Do you know what I mean? He was probably arguably one of the best players under Pep. Turned up at the big moments. I think sometimes his performances are underrated, but I think sometimes he just put on a masterclass. And the moments that I think I will kind of always remember him for is the brace versus Real Madrid in the Champions League.
Bayern Munich.
For the treble. Bayern Munich,
I was crying already. Set him off.
The masterclass that he put against Liverpool, that was absolutely brilliant. But yeah, he's just overall what he did during the treble season was just absolutely amazing. And for Stones, we think about when Stones first came in, he was seriously, most people were kind of against that signing, and probably had a bit of a rocky start for the first couple of seasons. But as so many times we've glazed him for probably, as Richard said, and I agree that he probably is our best defender ever that's been at the club. It's just sadly injuries have, caught up with him. But his best moments, and probably the best moment for me, is when he cleared that goal on the line against Liverpool. Was just absolutely outstanding. That was literally millimeters off the line, and what he did in the treble with the hybrid role, going into midfield, and the Champions League final, I think he was absolutely outstanding. I mean, some people may find that game boring, but for just the defensive masterclass that he put on in that final. And again, he had some big game moments where he scored some important goals. So, these two players that are leaving are not only class players in just skills, stepping up those big moments, but the leadership they have shown, the experience they've shown the younger players. We are definitely going to miss them big time, and they deserve all the plaudits for the weekend. They really do.
Sorry, sorry. Palmer is not going to the World Cup.
No, he's not.
He's not. Well, where did I thought I was right. I knew he wasn't going. There's a big piece on the BBC.
Weren't you talking about Trafford, though?
I'm just looking. That's what I'm just checking now.
Oh.
Who said he was going? Sorry, go on. I'm sorry. I was. No, I'm like lying bastards. See, you've all got me doubting myself now. You're trying to.
At the crash out.
Right, what's the squad here? Where's the bloody squad? Carry on, Oz. Well, I can't.
I've completely. I mean, I think I've made all my valid points. In all honesty, about the two players.
Yeah, my apology. No, Ozzy, sorry, that was true. Yeah, James Shepard is going. No, but Cole Palmer is not going. So, Alan, you're in the bin. Anyway, anytime I can put Alan in the bin is always a good day.
I did want to talk about Stones and Bernardo a bit.
Yeah, Clay's away, mate. Like
yeah.
Cream.
I mean, obviously, I think for both of them, that trouble just stands out just in general because Bernardo was just putting in class performances against in the biggest games that matter, And John Stones basically, our system basically was all based around him, and the fact that in that final he was crazy. And I do want to say something about Bernardo, less so Stones, but Bernardo has always been professional, like in the interviews and all that. Just the way he speaks and just carries the club at a very high level, and it's really nice to have in your team players like that are just so humble.
Yeah, totally agree with you. By the way, I did set a target. We have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 super chats. We're 5 super chats away from doing a After Dark special next week. Calling. They can be £1 each. We don't care. It's not about the money. It's about, £1 each is, but that's what it is. Because like I said, we have to. We're a bit of a business now. Costs have gone up. We have to. Don't like doing it. We don't like asking. But I was seeing your group chat. So go on.
Can I do my glaze?
No, you didn't. Go on, Trev. Good do you, glaze, please.
Okay. We've resurrected a song this season from the Terraces, and it's an old City song. It's the song I grew up with, The Boys in Blue. And throughout my life, there's always been a line that kind of gets me in that song. And the line is, maybe in another generation, when other lads have come to take our place. And when I was a kid, I thought that was only about players. And then as I got older and my own mortality started to become more apparent, I thought it was about fans. But I'd like to channel when I was a kid, because it was about players then. And John Stones and Bernardo Silva were some of those other lads who came to take our place. And boy, did they do it well. We have a reason to expect loyalty from anyone who signs for our club. We have a reason to expect competence and the skills. They have exceeded those expectations beyond what we could ever demand of any human being. This is the end of an era in some ways, because they're the last two to go, except for Phil. And we will love them forever, and we will miss them forever. Their family, that's what it becomes at City.
I love it when you say that. I love it when you say that, Trev.
It might become that at other clubs, and other clubs might feel it, and it doesn't mean that we're any special. I'm only talking about us now, to us. They are family. Listen, we're not used to letting go of greatness, right? Well, Martin isn't. The more, the younger fans are used to, the unks are not quite used to saying goodbye to greatness, so it hits us hard. Because trust us, in mine and Martin's journey, there's some players we couldn't wait to see the back of. Do you know what I mean? And so it's quite an unusual feeling, and we feel it every year. And that's a tribute to our ownership, our leadership, that they have brought these diamonds to us and laid them at our feet. And so, Johnny Stones, Bernardo Silva, your family now. I'm going to give you the official Mancunian title, right? And I've done this with several players. You are now henceforth only referred to as our Johnny and our Bernardo, because that's how we refer to family. It's not just our kid. If you've got an Uncle Dave, it's our Dave. And if you've got a brother Nick, like I have, it's our kid or our Nick, right? So I am bestowing on them in tribute the official title of our. It's like being called Sir or, Lord or Baron or whatever. In Manchester, when somebody says our, it means your family. And so it's our Bernardo and our Johnny. Thank you.
Love it, Craig.
No, you're spot on. Absolutely spot on.
Right.
I
also gave that title to Mario Balotelli as well, by the way. I only refer to him as our Mario because every family's got one. And Mario is ours.
Do you know what is sad?
He deserves that title as well, though. Let's be honest, Trev.
Do you know what is sad, guys? There was about to touch on this. There are at the moment going to be empty seats on Sunday. They have had the go ahead. It's cleared. They've opened the new stand. Yeah, at the moment, there are over 2,000 tickets left. Generally, all in that new part, all in the new extension. There are other bits, but they're singles.
I'm sure the seat counting perverts will let us know on Twitter exactly.
There are 56. I mean, I'll tell you now, the £56 in the new part, £43 for over 65s, under 18s, £30.50, which I think is quite reasonable. There are 2,000 left. Yes, I know it's hard because the seat counters will love this, but the simple fact is we only got clearance yesterday.
Mate, we don't owe the seat counters an explanation.
No, well, this is my point. We only got clearance last night on this.
Yeah, just don't defend it.
So this is 2 days.
When the seat counters get up online, don't even bother responding.
And listen, like I said, the Pep announcement will be when the Pep. Because listen, we'll just say it. Pep is gonna go. We know that. And we're gonna cry. We're gonna do everything. And the guy's a legend, and he's our legend. And again, he's family. Same as Stones and Bernardo. People want to do. I'm just what to preview. Preview of what? I don't care if he sticks the damn kids out on Sunday right now. It sounds daft, this, but I'm not going there on Sunday. For the first time ever, giving a shit about the game. I know that's awful to say. It's like going to friendly a little bit, this. I'm going there to say goodbye with a party atmosphere because all the relaxation's off. We've won 2 trophies. We've come second. And it's just...
Yeah, Mark, we haven't been in this position for a decade, really, let's be honest.
Yeah, but it's just... Apparently, it's going to be a heat wave as well. There is a heat wave expected from this weekend. So get your shorts out. Get your new kit. The new kit's on sale. We can confirm. This is
it down on
It's
Sunday
out.
now.
It's not rumoured anymore. That is the kit. I love it. Some don't like it because they don't like the band.
That's normal.
Is
the black one confirmed?
Yes.
Yeah,
because
that was nice.
You know what? Do you know how that's been confirmed?
Slimming.
Ooh.
Has anyone seen one of the goalie kits? The goalie kit has the
I've seen all of them.
Has the what?
One of them has the Manchester B on it.
Oh,
That
lovely.
will be for that
I
one.
love that. That is top.
And that is
Look at
confirmed for
that.
the third kit. All three kits are going to
wow.
be confirmed. That I'm getting this week. I want this for Sunday. This is for Sunday. I am going to get Sexy Bastard #1 for Sunday. And then on this one, I'm going to get Dog's Bollocks #9. And on this one, The Boss.
Are you gonna get a Nico G shirt, Mark?
Get any what? Nico G.
Are you gonna get a Nico G shirt? Suit you.
Before they sell out, yeah, he'll get one.
I might get
Yeah,
a
he needs one.
one. See, Neil, I love that you've done a lineup, but I couldn't care about the damn lineup, really. Do you know what I want on Sunday? I want John Stones to play at the back. If John Stones doesn't start on Sunday, there's no justice in this world anymore. He can play Trafford on Saturday for all I care.
He has to get injured a bit. He has to get injured a bit, just for the old time's sake.
He limps off. He goes off on a stretcher.
Bandage around his head.
He
goes off on a stretcher like that. Say, lad, bye. I'm going out the way I came in.
But only a little injury, you know, because
Bernardo
he's in the
Silva
World Cup.
comes out with a coffee, a little latte.
Yeah.
You see, lads?
That's his statue. I put my design up months ago.
And Pep Guardiola's like, oh, one more year. One more year.
Just
one more.
Like,
guys,
still a chance. Come on.
in the stand going,
I have 1 year left on my contract.
You told me that job was mine. You lying bastards.
But do you know what? My perfect scenario months ago was that if Pep was leaving, that Maresca would come in and they'd have a handover year.
I just don't think Maresca would do that. That would be really good, but I don't think Maresca would do
it. Just a sliver, tiny morsel of hope.
Yeah, that's stretching, I'm afraid, Trev. Just
we're on the
I
crumbs.
can't
We're on the crumbs. Come on, I'm on the crumbs here.
All the
But some
backroom
people
staff are
want
going,
it. There's
and
an
it's
audience
just
for
going to be a
it.
Pep and Maresca duo next season. Everybody else is going, and it's Pep and Maresca on their own. And Willie Caballero's doing the bottle collecting.
I'll tell you what I do like, though, Martin, going
pies.
into next season. I'll tell you what I do like going into next season is that it's going to be the apprentice against the apprentice, Maresca against Arteta. That's just as a storyline. That is definitely going to be something worth watching.
Dylan,
have you guys spoke about Maresca, like his tactics and that?
No, we're going to say that for a separate show. Listen, Ariano, I'm not going to do what I call dead man's shoes, and he's not dead, but you know what I mean. I don't want to start talking about the new guy while the legend is still in the job. Let me get Sunday and Monday out the way.
Correct.
Before we start doing the Maresca. The Maresca stuff, we've got all summer to do it.
Spot on. I'm glad
I can't. Palmer's not going to the World Cup, Alan. Sorry. Right, just to let you all know, I'm going to give you an update. Just a couple of super chats before we do this. Nat, big up with the After Dark. Big up 199. You are. I love that. I don't know if you're a female or a male. I don't want to guess.
Is that Natalie? Is she coming on the show?
I don't know if that's a male or if I don't want to guess. And then stars in with it. Australian 20. Thank you. Do you guys think company needs to win the UCL in the next couple of years to consider for the City job? Because in winning the Bundesliga every year is almost foregone conclusion.
We're already getting rid of Maresca.
Right.
Maresca out.
Do I say this now or do I say this tomorrow?
Say it.
Be careful, Martin. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, you know what I'm going to say.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're going to say. We were told not to say anything, so don't.
Right, DM me.
We'll save it for tomorrow.
DM me. By the way, I've got an idea.
There is a reason company is not.
Don't, Martin. Don't.
That's all I said. I didn't say why, did I?
I'm warning you now.
You can DM me. I won't tell anybody.
I'll tell you this. I'll say this for free. Maresca has been the one and only candidate from December. It has been one guy, no other guy, no other guy, no other guy's name. That came out. No other guy's name. That came out so wrong.
Or gay's name. Hey ho.
Yeah, I apologize. Got a bit excited there.
You were happy, Martin. Let's put it that way.
He was glad.
Yes.
No, Alonso was not there, Ash. It was one name and one name only. It was Maresca. Maresca has been the only guy.
Except in my world. Except in my world, which has Areola in it.
Thank you. You know what, Rango? I want to take the moment too. I want to appreciate this community. There you go, guys. As well as Martin is one of the realest content creators. Keep it original, no bluffs. Plus, love the calling shows with LB. Thank you very much. Me and LB, I was only going on for a quick 10 minutes. It was a quick 3 hours.
And 2 hours, too, yeah.
Jesus.
I don't know why we ended up doing that. Briggsy was meant to be coming on, but he's probably excited because Hull are in the Champions League. I'm emotional for Sunday too much. I'm at Champions League. All sorts.
By the way, I've got an idea for a show for next season. It's going to be called Explaining Banter to Fucking Morons.
Jesus, Trev.
Right. I promise you this. I'll tell you now.
I've had to explain the panic in the streets of London, right? And I've also had to explain the bottling thing, and I've also had to explain the welcome to Manchester. Just in the last couple of days, it is astonishing how people do not understand these very simple nonsense banter lines.
I love
so
that.
Anyway,
I love
next
that
season, special show.
That is the best reply to it, Gal. You wish them congratulations and say, keep it warm. We'll be back in May to take it away. Right. Let them have the 5 minutes. Listen, we'd do it. If we'd have won the league, we'd have been all over their shows giving it large. If you want to give it, it's banter, guys. Listen, it is what it is. Dash, Dash, you've got a real agenda, you, on Donnarumma lately, you, Dash.
I thought I had an agenda.
Really, Dash, you're like 2 foot in Donnarumma here, mate. Yeah, they both haven't made it spicy. I got that one wrong. Right. You all wanted to know, I said there was going to be a special guest on the 90-minute show. Not tomorrow, the Friday after. It's going to be recorded because we literally have 45 minutes. Ozzy's going to pull his face because he won't like what I'm about to say. Ozzy knows who the guest is. The 90-minute show, Jack Gorn is coming on. The Daily Mail's Northern correspondent, Jack Gorn. He's coming on. We're going to record 45 minutes. I will put something out next week where you can send questions in to him. It's going to be a recorded show that will go out as a premiere, so you can. I will be in the comments and I will respond to you all. It will go out next Friday night, so you can have a nice Friday evening. So next Friday, tomorrow's show, I'll put it up as this. It's just me and Tone at 1 p.m. 1 p.m. tomorrow. Next. Well, if you're on, you didn't tell me. I don't know. You told me you were working.
No, I didn't.
You just said I've got to go early. Some of us have work.
That was last week.
Oh, right. Right. Ozzy then will join us. Next Friday, he's going to be recorded, but it's Jack Gorn who's coming on. So I will send your questions in, email him or DM me on Twitter. We won't be able to put everyone on, but we'll put the best so on. And don't ask silly questions like where do you get the information? There's certain. I know that's not at you, Trev. By the way, I know we spoke earlier. That's not at anyone. Reporters can't always divulge everything.
No, I'm banned apparently. I'm not allowed on.
No, you're not. Who said you're banned? There's only bloody hell. He wants to do this. Boo that yank. Boo that yank. What yank? Anyway, right. So yeah, Dictator Martin. I'm no dictator. Trev, when is it good time for Pep to leave? Never.
Never. Ever.
Yeah, never.
The easiest question ever.
Mate, but Venom, we can't. We all go into their channels. That's the thing, Ben, and we've got to be.
Well, I
mine has
think
become a Donna happy. Well, I've not become a Donna happy clapper at all.
one of the things I will say about Maresca though, Martin, is that he's not a stopgap. Like he's not
No.
the Pellegrini coming in until Pep was to come in. He is he's the manager that seriously the board want. He's at the moment the long-term plan that he will be in for numerous years. So we're not waiting for company. Is basically what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's big up, DC. Have you just arrived? Have you been? Did you come on when I started talking about Big Willa?
Sorry.
DC, don't
DC.
apologise. DC loves that sort of thing.
It's not what she tells me.
Panic in the streets of
well, we thought Pat was going to join as well, but
Yeah,
Pat's leaving Center and he's joining the
Mancunian way
next year.
Oh my God, guys! Oh my God!
Pep's joining us over at the Mancunian way. Spicy's asking me how'd you get tickets. I'm just going to tell you what the criteria is. It's on sale to memberships only. So you have to buy a membership. But you have to, now this is the problem. You have to have been a member since the 18th of June, 2025. So you can't just become a member now and get tickets for Villa. You've got to have been a member since Wednesday, the 18th of June, 2025. The after party that is currently still going. There's 1,000 seats, tickets available on the floor. There are level 1 is virtually gone, where I will be. Level 2, there are 57. There's a good 1,000, maybe a bit more available for the after party. They're at £12 adults, £6 thing, so you can go to that.
You got us all VIP tickets, Martin.
No, I'm not going to be happy.
No, if you got our VIP tickets, is what I'm saying.
It's 65 quid each.
Yeah, I don't think we deserve it. We don't have a pay rise this year, even though prices have gone up apparently.
Do we get paid?
Wow.
Can you ask your before they lower the criteria? I need to get mine. Yes, I've already got mine.
It wouldn't be such a burden if Arsenal fans who come in our chat gave some super chats.
I'm going to end on this question because I think this is
come on.
Where do you see the future for Pep?
On the beach with his wife and kids.
Do you know what? Being brutally honest, with Pep, I would not be surprised if he never manages another club. Internationally, I think is possibly where he might go next, but I don't think that'll be until well after the World Cup. I think he'll have a sabbatical for maybe a year and then go into a club. No, sorry, going to managing.
Well, that's what I'm going to ask. Do you think he's done with club football?
I think he is, honestly.
My wish is that we give him a permanent role as a director, shareholder, whatever that is.
The one thing I will say, Trev, is that I think for Pep, I would like to see him in some respects involved with the club, but I don't want him to become Alex Ferguson, like he just overshadowed. No. I'm just saying, yes, I'd like it for Caldoon to be able to kind of take advice when it's needed and him to come back if he wants to, maybe at certain points, and have some sort of maybe role. But I don't want him to become the Ferguson. I just want him to be what he is. He's just the legend that he well and truly is. But I don't see where else could he go. I mean, I don't see the only place that I could realistically see him going back to is Barcelona. But I think he's ruled that out so many times. There is no other club on the planet that is going to treat him.
He says CFG.
The way
Gordon says England manager. You said that for a while.
I'll tell you what. The New York job or whatever when he was linked like a while ago.
Listen, one of the criticisms that rivals give Pep is that he's never taken a low team, right, a shit team,
They are
and-
Yusuf, so he's not
and
coming
brought
across.
them to glory. Now then, a couple of weeks ago, he was at Stockport County. Hmm? Hmm?
Trey, I like it.
Listen, there's more credibility in that than what some journalists put out. So, you heard it here first. Breaking.
It don't help that the Stockport County owner is his landlord.
I know.
That then
So
came out. So
Pep's
maybe he was just giving him the keys back.
Pep's coming back next season to manage Stockport. The crowds will go up to like 20,000 a week, right?
Listen, you said,
and he's gonna go. You said I couldn't do this. Watch me now.
Listen, I would love Pep to do that, but do you know where I see it?
Hilarious.
You know where I see it?
Yeah.
I see him in the Italy job.
Like bring them back and see it like it was all me. I can see.
Do you know what it
something like
is?
that.
He's always talked about Italy. If you look when he does, when he goes on these little breaks during international duty, has anyone ever noticed where he does a lot of interviews from? What media he does a lot of interviews with? It's the Italian media. And he has talked about in his books, because I've got a couple of his books which are brilliant. One of them by Guillaume Balaguer.
What's that club where all the movie stars live? Como, is it?
Como, Lake Como.
The most beautiful place in the world, and their team have done really, really well.
That's why I don't think Cesc Fabregas is ever leaving. He's like, I don't want to leave bloody Lake Como.
Yeah,
Where am I going?
I won't mind Pep going there though, if he has to go somewhere. I'd go there.
I just think he has talked about Italy so much in the past, and
I think it's definitely been an international job, Martin. I think you could be right with Italy. I think it's either Italy, England, or Brazil. I think those
the only job club-wise I think would really, because by the way, there was some rumours a few years back. Do you remember the Juventus rule came out? They did move for him. Juventus did move for him. Juventus is something that's bringing the old lady back to the rise.
Juventus, Como.
He hasn't managed in Syria, so he might.
I think it's more about the bringing the old lady back to life, and I don't mean that in any pun. That is New York. He has got, I think. Listen, do you know what I want for Pep? Is just for him to be happy, because I can't thank him enough for what he's done. I'm not underplaying Mancini or Pellegrini here, but Pep Guardiola has given me things. I remember doing the watch along for the Champions League because of me dad, and I cried because I said the journey we've been on. But Big Steve said it's spot on. We're the only club who's gone from fucking Leyton Orient and Colchester United and Bristol Rovers on a box office night with Sean Goater all the way to Istanbul and won a treble. Treble.
This is what rivals don't.
This is what domestic treble.
He's done 100 points. He's done 4 in a row.
Yeah.
He's 4 in a row. Got told never done. The formidable got told off Ferguson would never happen.
Yeah.
We got told hitting a Centurion, you'd never get 100 points in the Premier League. You'll never win the domestic quad. You'd never win 4 in a row. It's never been done 4 in a row. He's done it all. And this myth that he's never rebuilt a team. I look at the team when he came in. Bakary Sagna, Alexander Kolarov, Pablo Zabaleta, bless his little corn socks, who I think is a City legend. Claudio Bravo, everything. And he rebuilt that team. We were getting slapped up by Leicester, slapped up by Everton. I got told Pep football will not work in England. Will not work in England. It is not going to happen. He will get found out. He will get found out is what I got told. He made Rodri into the Ballon d'Or. KDB, he took to a new level. Aguero, he changed Sergio Aguero's game completely. I know they didn't end well in the end. I get that. But he did it.
He took Phil Foden from a child to an international.
He took Raheem Sterling, who couldn't kit at Cow's house with a banjo, and got him on 33 goals in a season.
Yeah.
He took Riyad Mahrez to a new level. He took Laporte, Diaz. Diaz was 4th choice centre-back on our list. We'd gone for Koulibaly, Kunda. Don't say anything about Koulibaly, Ozzy, because I'll get rid of you. I know you're not going to hate me for it. It tells you how long I've been doing this gig for, because Ozzy still gives me shit over Koulibaly and will never let me hear it down.
Rightly so.
Even Ake, Martin.
I did get Ruben Diaz right, though. You got to get me wrong. I got Ruben Diaz right.
After I told you, yeah.
Ake, Stones, Nico Ryler, even Rico Lewis. This is a guy who had the bollocks in a treble season to ditch Cancelo because he was a knob and bringing a kid out the academy to help on a treble run. Who'd never played, skipped. This is what people don't talk about Rico Lewis. He skipped a whole generation. He played about 5 games in the bloody under 18s and came in and became our first team right back.
See, this is the thing that rivals.
You also put Bernardo at fullback as well during the treble. Let's not forget.
Zinchenko at left back. Fabian Delph at left back.
Whenever left back until 8 Nori.
Whenever rivals post that graphic, Middlesbrough 8, Man City 1, this is what they don't understand. They don't understand that we are proud of our journey. And I wouldn't change our journey from the poverty of that moment to the riches that we have been given now. I wouldn't change that journey. They've never had that journey. Arsenal have never had that journey. United fans have never had that journey. You know, Liverpool fans have never had that journey. They've only known either glory or mediocrity. We've seen the bottom. We dwelt at the bottom. We made fun of the bottom. We made fun of ourselves at the bottom. We ridiculed ourselves. It's made us strong, and it's made us the most robust fan base in football. We might not be the biggest, but we are the most robust fan base. And that is a matter of immense pride to me. If you were there then, you know what I mean. Those who've come to us more recently, please listen to us when we say this. It was something. It was, in our own way, magnificent. How we were in those days was something unique. And I'm glad I was there for it. I didn't enjoy all of it. I didn't enjoy the ridicule. But there was no internet then, so we only got the banter going to work or school on the Monday. So we only got shit from Reds, basically, people we knew, you know, and that was fine. Now it's the internet. Maybe we wouldn't, not enjoy it, but endure it so well.
Yeah.
I'm proud of our journey, and every time you post that 8-1 thing, all you're revealing is your ignorance.
You're revealing me because I was in the way.
Arrogance. So keep on posting it. Please never stop posting the 8-1. Never ever stop, because it reminds me of a brilliant time, and it reminds me of the journey we've been on, and it's been magnificent.
I'll tell you what, Trev. There might be a club that might repeat that, though.
Who?
Spurs.
They'll repeat part of it.
They could.
Championship.
Can I just wish congratulations to Aston Villa as well, because they got a thumping win last night. Really pleased for their fans.
Can I put an asterisk on the congratulations? Congratulations to Villa fans, except the ones that booed Jack Grealish and ever posted anything about 115. You can do one. But all the other ones, brilliant, well done. Delighted for you.
And Morgan Rogers as well.
It was not about that. I just want to, you know what? This is where I kick back when I hear the Premier League's lost it. The Premier League's not that good. Well, why are 3 of our teams in the finals?
Exactly.
You know, and I'm not trying to. I think it's an easy out for people to get it, because people want to throw a bit of shade to Arsenal or throw a bit of shade to us or whatever. I get it. People look at the Premier League and think we're arrogant, so and so's, and I hear it. I do see some of it. Do think there's a little bit of arrogance in there with some people, but with Pep, there's not enough words in a dictionary that I can say about the guy. Or John Stones or Bernardo Silva. There's not. And you know what? You'll be missed. You came as a Catalonian and you will leave as a Manc and a Catalonian. You'll leave as both. And he said on Tuesday night was, watching John Stones, because you're that close at Bournemouth, watching John Stones and Bernardo tear up. And you know what I loved about Pep? Because everyone made a big thing about Pep turning around and walking away at the Vital. He wasn't. He was allowing the fans. He was allowing Bernardo and John Stones to have their time. It wasn't about him. They say it about me, guys. Keep saying it. Pep will walk in the shadows and go. But I just think that, listen, I do think the club will break it at some point. I said Sunday. It may be Saturday, it might be Friday. I don't know. And I think they're going to have to do. They're going to have to break it at some point because it's going to get. I think it's already at a bloody fever pitch, but tomorrow's presser is going to be big because he can't lie tomorrow. Unless he really is being the stubbornest bastard in the world and going, no, I'm staying here still. And you're like, you're not, though. You are not staying.
Or maybe he is, man. There's still hope. There's still hope. Come on.
Oriano, no.
I'm just joking.
Let's not forget, though, this is Pep Guardiola. And he's never, when you turn around and said that, he turned away from the fans because he wanted Stones and Silva to have their moment. I actually think also he didn't want to show that because he looked like he was on the verge of tears.
Oh, he didn't want to cry.
He didn't want to show. He didn't want to show the fans. He didn't want to show the world that part of himself. And in all honesty, like Pep has hidden some of his emotions from us at times. And I just think at the end of the day, if Pep could walk out the door without anybody noticing, he would.
Unless
he's not one for the big line.
He may. Absolutely, because I was listening to Jack Garn today with Stephen McInerney, and he said, this could just be him. I've got one more because he doesn't want to. Do you know what it is? Maybe when he says it, it becomes real in his head. Because I do think he's emotionally attached to City now, because he made a comment at Bournemouth. He said, the guy said, they love you, City fans, and he went, I love them, and I love them even more. So they don't realise. I imagine your Pep tomorrow, and he goes, guys, I'm out. He's going to break. He will break at some point. He will. I think he will. He's never done 10 years at a club. Never.
Not even a Barcelona.
Well, nobody does.
Yeah, for him to not even do 10 years at Barca, it just tells you how much the club needs to.
You think about how much he embraced being in Manchester. You look at someone like, Mourinho, who, when he managed United, spent his whole time in a hotel, barely went out in Manchester, unlike Pep, who went to Oasis gigs, who bought a restaurant and really embraced Mancunian culture. And as you said, Martin, that is why we do embrace him as a Mancunian. Yes, he leaves. It came as Catalonian, but he also leaves Mancunian.
Mancunian.
I am a Mancunian.
That is good.
Not Michael Owen. We're not bigging up Michael Owen.
No.
I just
Benny just said that enough of Trev's sentimental crap. If you're not sentimental about football, there's something wrong with you.
Mate, if you're not sentimental about
that's not a me thing.
Jesus, you don't
on the wrong channel, mate.
Big up, Danny, by the way, mate. We'll get you on the show next week. Lovely seeing you at Bournemouth, even though I didn't see you till full time. Stood right behind me as well. It sums up the whole situation with Pep. He just wanted the attention.
Can I just say on the 1,000,001% chance that he just goes, fuck it, I'm staying. I have got the greatest. I've scripted it. I have got the greatest ever. Your boys took a hell of a beating video. I'm going to name everybody.
No. There's
You know
not
what I
even
mean?
1% governor.
I know.
More than
I
happy
No,
top
no,
of the
know.
I'm
list.
talking a governor. I'm talking a governor.
It's a joke.
No, I know, but governor's saying governor is someone who's holding on. He's literally holding on.
Yeah, well, so am I.
Fair play
To
to him.
a million zeros, 1%. But if he does,
And if there's someone
get
to do
ready,
it, it's Pep.
I
because
tell
I'm
you
going to
what,
list them all and then
he's-
say at the end, your boys took a hell of a beating.
I think he snaked Maresca a bit because I didn't realise how close them two were until I heard Jack go. Again, with Stephen today.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah,
They're like
that
best
was.
mates.
Yeah.
So he's gonna. Sorry, mate. I'll see you. I know you were coming, but forget it. I'm staying. Right, bollocks.
10 more years.
How does he get his apartment back? He's already leased it back out. Can I get it back? Listen, I know it's been shit the way it came out on Wednesday, Monday, Tuesday, whenever it was. It wasn't the greatest way it came out. I don't think City wanted it out like that.
No. Not
Well, I know City didn't want it out like that. He's just as Manca's company. We're not saying it, but he's our greatest ever manager, Benny. And we're gonna, mate. You need to stay off City channels, then, Benny, if you're not gonna like this, mate, because you're gonna get Pep loving all week. That's just the way it is. He's Manca, the Mancunians of the universe. Pep's went to Miami.
They've done it so well to keep it this secret for this long, in all honesty, because you look.
Someone said that today. Yeah.
Like, seriously, they have been able to keep this so watertight up until this moment.
They've kept this under major wraps. I think when Maresca got spotted at City a few weeks back, I think that's when the veil went a bit. Because this is the problem. They should have done that. You know, when they all bring him in under that, is it that van that has the blacked out windows and you come in with a towel over the neck? Maybe they should have just done that with Maresca, because someone clearly saw him and went, yeah, right, that's going straight out. Because someone at City's been a gobby git in the last few months. Somebody at City's been a gobby git.
Snitch.
And this is the problem. I've been told who it was. I won't say it at the minute because
DM me.
Ooh,
he might not be
okay.
employed in the next few weeks. Well, he's not.
DM me.
Yeah, I know who it was, where it came from, but it was off the record. Must be up. I heard Pellegrini was ill. I don't know how true that was, because correct me if I'm wrong, didn't his wife put some on social media about him going into hospital? Or was that false? I never know if they're real or false. Someone said his wife had done an Instagram post saying her husband had gone into hospital.
Oh, I hope he's all right. One of my favourite banners, This Charming Man. I love that banner.
Did you see the Arsenal banner?
Sentiment is the reason why we're having him. Oh, stop it.
Mate, Bennett, it's part of football sentiment, mate.
You know, I think with the whole Maresca going into City was the problem, that what they did is they did the same thing they did with the United keeper, when he came in under the top and then he just, like, they were trying to hold it up all that time and then he just went straight past it. That's what they did. Anyway, it's out. Blimey, Martin, how long is that cigarette? It's not something else.
I have big ones. Lee Gates, thank you very much to Super Chat. Big up, Neil Mucker. Someone felt Pep going into his house. He looked broke. Felt sorry for him. Pep's done everything for the club. 10 years of the best. Yes. Governor's not giving up. He could buy one. Governor's chaining him to the fence. He's not leaving. No, I know he isn't the long. I know he's not. I said most successful. I know he's not the most successful.
He's the most.
I know Wilf is. I know it. Yeah, I know that. He's the most successful, not the longest. Wilf did 12 years. I was corrected on that, and thank you for that, Andrew.
Most successful in the shortest time period.
Yeah, 20 trophies in 10 years is just crazy. It was a shambles the way it come out, but I kept saying this. There wasn't a good way of it ever coming out. There wasn't, because the first time we got that Pep was leaving was when he's selling his restaurant. I mean, do you know what? Someone did talk about that at the time when Tass went, but we all said it was due to poor things. See, it's different because
things he overlooked.
I've heard Jack Gorn and Simon Bajowski both said this, and they both said this was kind of planned a year ago, but because of the way, because we finished so badly, because we had such a so-called bad year last year, he got asked to put us in a better position.
This is accurate. Calduna,
which I think he has. I think he would have gone last year.
And Copium fans, if Khaldoon has met with him already, that's your 0.00001% of hope left.
No, it's not those two.
And that's why mine, he signed a 2-year deal, is to throw everybody off the scent.
Well, apparently they said he signed a 2-year with the advisor. He was only doing the 1. So maybe he should have just done a 1+1 and just not done the 2. But maybe he did the 2 to get everyone off the scent.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think that's why he did it. I think
because we did say at the time, we all thought it was 1+1 or was it a 2? We didn't quite know.
Well, it was being reported at the time to begin with that it was a +1. But
well, I'll be honest with you. Ferguson left United in a bit of a shit show. Maybe Pep didn't want to leave us in a shit show.
Oh, God, yeah.
Maybe Pep was like, hang on a minute, I don't want to leave.
There are no comparisons in terms of how good a manager he is and how good and how badly things went at Man United. Man United is institutionally a disaster. The Glazers' ownership is a nightmare. I keep talking about continuity, and that's what I want to see more than anything else. I don't want to see 8 players sold and 8 players brought in and Colo sacked and all the shit that I'm hearing. Right? I want to see some continuity. And I found it. And I found it by looking at the board. That's our continuity. I think continuity is going to be the most important thing to get us through to the next season.
Yeah, Soriano's not leaving. Soriano's staying.
And as long as that level of continuity is there, as long as Khaldoon is still involved, and as long as Soriano's staying, that's the continuity I've been looking for. And I had to think about it for a week to get there. And I had a lot of conversations on the show and on Spaces about continuity, trying to find precedents for it. You know, there was Liverpool and Barcelona. I asked on Tarek's show about American sport institutions who've managed it, and there aren't many. And then I thought, well, the continuity that I was hoping for is actually always there. It's our ownership and how talented they are. And so that made me feel a lot more optimistic.
Yeah. Khaldoon has also done an excellent job.
Oh, yeah, spot on. You can't even say he hasn't. Our board is the best in the business.
Yeah.
And I won't have anyone tell me any different on that.
That's my continuity.
Question: it shows statue and stand, or one or the other?
Both.
Both, yeah.
Has to be both.
Where would you put it? Because you've already got Lee, Bell, and Summerby outside. You've already got Bell, Lee, and Summerby outside the Colin Bell. You've got the other 3 the other side. KDB's going outside the North Stand somewhere.
Okay, I know exactly where it goes. It goes on top of Werneth Low. No, it goes on top of Werneth Low, and it's as big as the Jesus statue at Rio de Janeiro.
I was going to say, it's not going to be like the Beard of Bang, is it?
No, it's next to the Hare and Hounds on Werneth Low. For non-Mancunians, Werneth Low is a hill you can actually see the Etihad from. It's just through Hyde, and you can walk it.
I've got to say one thing on the North Stand. I don't know. Has anyone seen the facilities that are going in there? They're getting a Michelin star restaurant going on the top, which is
have an 80% failure rate.
Asian inspired thing where it's going to have live bands and all.
Very nice.
It's going to be pricey. It's going to be pricey, so I won't be booking it. Obviously, you've got the new stand.
In the new stand, they're doing this automated ordering like you get at KFC, where you have a touch screen and you order your beers. How many beers on the opening day does that last?
I don't know. Well, they do it at Tottenham, Trev.
4 or 5 beers in, and then they're like, "How's this fucking thing work? I pressed it. I pressed it twice. Just give us
It took me money twice. I want my money back. I want
He's had my money's robbed me."
I mean, listen, I think we all know that new stand's going to get the Pep Guardiola stand. I think he should get both. Statue in the new square, yeah.
Now we're in a flow. We're in a flow, right on the top. What's that Jesus statue called?
I mean, I heard Briggsy saying name Ashton Road the Pep Guardiola way.
I like that.
There's loads you could do with it.
Yeah.
Big up, Jack. Appreciate that, mate.
They should rename Audenshaw, because nobody knows who owns Audenshaw. Is it Denton or Ashton? They should rename it Pepville, and it becomes an independent with its own identity. It's no longer Audenshaw, because really, is it Denton or Ashton? Nobody knows. Nobody cares, I don't think. But if it was called Pepville.
Do you know what he wants? I know what Steve Black wants. He wants like the Angel of the North off the side of the A1. But
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm
saying. The side of Pep just going, hey, come on with Bernardo. Come with the Bernardo with a latte.
Well, what's the Jesus statue on the mountain in Rio de Janeiro? Overlooks the whole city.
Christ the Redeemer.
Yeah.
That's what I want on the top of Werner Flow. Seriously.
Top of Berry Brow.
On top of Berry Brow. Berry Brow's not high enough.
The cigar.
No, well, where do you want to put it?
Werner Flow, mate. Werner Flow is the perfect place for,
put him at Main Road.
Pep the Redeemer, overlooking the whole of Manchester. You can even see it from
Benny. Whoa, Benny. This is where you let yourself down. The Manchester City you know and I know from Main Road has gone. It may be gone, but it's not forgotten. We're not the pain in the ass, Benny. We're not, because without us, we embrace all the new fans. There's a difference between new fans abroad, and tourists. Said this last night at LB's. A day tripper is someone who's doesn't give a shit about City and is there for the trophies. A new fan, and I have met some of the most knowledgeable City fans, and they're abroad. Danny, for one. Danny is a young lad in America, and he'd knock shit out of most knowledge-wise on Manchester City. Tariq, top. Ed, on this channel for a reason. There are some amazing fans we've met abroad. So, yes, we're not a pain. That's because the idiots tell us we're the problem. Because all they care about are trophies. Trophies come and go. The club and the love stays. And the thing is, I saw some people today. I did a space earlier for an hour because I was at the hospital. No, I'm just listening. It helps me get through the shit at the minute. But I'm going to be straight. Some people have already sacked Maresca. I got told of someone, and Oriano don't say who, but they're going to watch Bayern Munich for a couple of years with Maresca's here. Then fuck off and don't come back.
Yeah.
You don't turn around and go and watch another club. You don't loan yourself out. You can't say to your missus when you've had a couple of arguments, I tell you what, can you go on loan next door for a month? I'll bring in the other one.
Droylsden, Pep Town. Droylsden renamed Pep Town.
When you love forever. Good, bad, and indifferent. You're there in the good times, you're there in the bad times. City till we die, not City till we stop winning. Don't get those letters mixed up. How's it rude, Benny? No one's being rude. We're being honest with you, mate. You're sounding rude saying that sentiment means nothing. Yeah. My dad played for this fucking football club. Don't tell me sentiment don't mean now. I'm the wrong person who it's sentiment on for me on Manchester City, mate. My dad has worn the blue shirt. It was only for the reserves, but he wore it. Don't tell me sentiment don't matter to me. Wrong person, Benner. And I mean that with every respect. But my family live, breathe, and die this football club. It's not about the trophies. It's about this. And if people want to call me an happy clapper and no standards, so be it. I will be the biggest happy clapper in the world. Because you know what my standards are? Loving Manchester City, good, bad, indifferent. And that's to everyone who wants to have a go at me or this channel or any panel members on it. Because here's the thing, when the trophies go, we won't go. We'll still be here giving you content.
As ugly as that'll be.
Right, my apologies about it. I didn't realise it was. It wasn't at you. It's just the sentiment thing is personal to me. It is personal. Because my family's in that club. It's just, I'm sorry, I love the new fans, but we're not about the trophies. Big up Emperor. The trophies come and go, but your love doesn't. But anyway, anything else you guys want to add before we wrap up? Does anyone actually want to talk about the actual game on Sunday?
I think we've buried that one, Martin. Let's be honest, we've buried that. I think it's.
Hang on, I still need predictions because we've got some of you have got a thing to win here. I'm top. Ed's bottom, and I think Ed is bottom.
He'll remain bottom.
Hang on,
well.
Let me see where are we at. Where are we actually at on this? So there is Ed. Ed's bottom, officially. Ed's getting the wooden spoon.
It's relegated.
Yeah.
I'd just like to say something that you were saying a couple of minutes ago. I've been on Tarek's channel twice now, and the thing that's blown me away, because I have not been exposed to American sports fans very much, they are so knowledgeable, and they're knowledgeable in a way that we're not. I think it's a big part of US sports fan culture that they know dates and stats and they call them without Googling. They just bring them to mind. They follow our on loan players. They'll watch games in obscure European leagues if we've got a player who's abroad there. It's very different content. And it is that they're unique in this way of thinking about the game. And it kind of enriched my understanding of a lot of things, you know.
Yeah. And listen, the only thing I'll say on the Maresca stuff is, remember, Bayern Munich got Vincent Kompany when he just relegated Burnley.
In it.
He'd never won a trophy.
Yeah.
You have to start somewhere.
Was he the number one choice for any of you guys?
Maresca?
Yeah.
He wasn't, but
No.
the more I've thought and the more I've actually heard and the thinking behind it and how close Pep and him were, I think he probably was.
Yeah.
Me too. When I looked into it a little bit more, I started to like understand why, because he does share like very similar stuff to Pep, and because it's hard to bring in a manager that's just gonna bring brand new ideas in terms of changing the system up completely and all that, because Man City has kind of been wired to play a certain way, and you can't really change that. That's why I've pushed back with the Xavi Alonso.
They don't like change. That's the problem.
A certain amount of change, though, Martin. It's like you can't. There are managers out there that you can get that are good managers, but they don't share the same philosophy of possession, you know, all that stuff.
I mean, the thing is, like said, Villa have won it. They will have been on the drink. The only thing on Sunday that is to play for is basically Bournemouth now. If Bournemouth beat us, they're in the Champions League, and obviously Liverpool. You know, they need Bournemouth. Have got to win. We need, if we beat Villa and Bournemouth win, then Bournemouth go in the Champions League. So
fair play.
They're a
don't
great
know.
team, by the way. They were really good. Just the way they play.
Let's be
Yeah,
honest.
you don't listen. You don't win anything. You just make the gap. The only thing you'll do is, we finished 7 points ahead here. Yeah, I remember we played Brentford away a few years back, and we got beat 1-0. And I remember, you remember the team? We played all the kids. It wouldn't even surprise me if he rolls out. Like I said, Trafford, Stones. I bet it wouldn't even surprise me if Rico Lewis gets a rollout Sunday. Don't rule that out. Nico G might go into the midfield. Everyone might get their wish.
We might see a Leverkusen.
Yeah, you might. He might completely go ring and swap the whole 11 around.
Yeah, but let's be honest, Martin. The games that we're going to be really keeping an eye on is the Tottenham, Everton, and West Ham league.
Who do you want to go down, and who do you want to stay up? We'll finish
Spurs.
on that.
I'm still asked about 1981. Fuck them. Get down there, Spurs. Do one.
You don't want Spurs to fuck off.
I went to that London twice. It came back empty-handed. Steve McKenzie scored the greatest goal ever scored at Wembley.
Maresca, Spicer, very, very close to Pep. Like one of his closest friends. Go to dinner a lot, talk a lot. Maresca's the number one choice and has been from December. And that is from everyone. Bored down. There was even come out that even Cheeky was looking at him. He was talked about when Cheeky was here.
Apparently, it was like 5 years ago he wanted him.
I think Maresca's been the long-term plan all along. And we've just not wanted that because the usual names come out. Everyone immediately goes to Company. Everyone immediately goes to Enrique or to Nagelsmann. And I always say our board are very clever. They're very, very clever. Because they'll have seen what happened at United. This isn't a David Moyes who has nothing to do with United, has nothing to do with the ethos of United, doesn't get United, doesn't know United, have no relationship with Ferguson. This is...
The two scenarios are nothing alike.
Yeah, very, very different. Big up, Rose. Much love. Hope you are well, DC. Final thoughts. Am I said that Buenaventura is leaving? No.
Martin, I have a question. I don't know if this is true, but apparently Maresca was the one that got up with the idea to invert Stones in the treble year.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's true? No?
Right?
Yeah. We were the ones who brought that last week or 2 weeks ago.
And you guys seem to be breaking everything. IT case.
Well, this is where you come for your news, mate.
Yeah.
I'm no ITK. The people we speak to. And I don't. It's not me. Should we just lose on purpose to piss Bournemouth fans off? LB said
No.
that last night.
No, we like Bournemouth.
LB went, you ended our title up, so we're ending your Champions League hopes.
No, we like Bournemouth.
Oh, big up, LB.
Who are they keeping out? Who would be the team that Bournemouth keep out? Do we hate them? That's the real question.
Villa.
Because we don't hate Bournemouth.
Villa won the Europa League, so they're...
So who would Bournemouth cost a place?
I think Liverpool, I would say, as well.
Yeah.
If it's Liverpool, then yeah.
but who would Bournemouth cost the place if they go through? That's what I'm caring about now.
That's what I'm saying. I think it's Liverpool.
Bloody hell, Villa have already had their parade.
Yeah, they have.
They're not even waiting. They've ended their season. They've got a game on Sunday, lads.
Yeah, we're winning anyways.
It would be Liverpool. If Liverpool lose.
Are they
if
on
Liverpool
the
lose and Bournemouth win.
I have a dream. Spurs versus Stockport. Danny, don't do that. Danny, I saw the side of you on Tuesday night. I didn't like, mate. You were very, very thing on Tuesday. Very angry, man. Is there a chance about Trafford? I don't.
Boring.
Yeah, just listen. I know people love Trafford, and I love him myself. I get it.
Me too.
Listen to the interviews Trafford's been given. He's already. It's
Elmo future.
You can tell. What's going on? What's the issue? I don't know. I have no idea about this because there wasn't meant to be a clause in as well that he could speak to other clubs. I think Chelsea are just being a bit salty now. Typical Chelsea. Right, we'll leave it there.
They haven't got a chance.
Trev, thank you very much for again for your knowledge.
Can I give you a sign off? Can I give you a quick sign off? It's only one sentence.
Yes.
I've been listening to James, and the line that stood out to me about that kind of sums up all of what's happening to us right now is from Sit Down. If we hadn't seen such riches, we could live with being poor.
Right.
We have seen those riches. So that's part of why we're anticipating having to live poor, because we've seen the riches. But we'll do it and we'll be fine. That's
Did you like The Boys in Blue again? That was out in force on Tuesday night.
I talked about it before in my tribute to Stonesy and Bernardo. Yeah. I want a massive version of that tomorrow or Sunday.
It's very hard when you're at home.
Yeah.
It's better when sounds over, but the away lot are like the proper hardcore lot that knows about it. Not everyone does. So bloody hell, he's here. As we're about to leave, he's joined back.
Look at him. That smile.
You guys are why you guys always do this, huh?
I tell you, we do marathons now, here, mate.
Yeah, man. I understand. Do we have that much to talk about?
We've just been glazing Pep for the last 90 minutes.
we got very sentimental.
Yeah, and then we got told off.
Sit down, mate. Why?
I'm joking. Having a bit of banter, Benny.
We're about to do a space anyway, mate. So,
Oriano, anything you want to add before we go?
No. That's pretty much it.
Right. Thank you for joining us, Ed.
Of course.
How did your meeting go with your client?
It went well. It was great. It was a great meeting. We all are trying to work on how we communicate. So don't forget that, chat. Okay. Don't forget that. We need to communicate more in this world we live in now. Okay, get from behind the screen. Okay. But big up the chat. Thanks for always tuning in. Don't forget to hit like button on the way out. We're about to have a big summer, guys, and we're going to be here to talk about everything. Ozzy might not like everything Martin says, and Martin might not like everything Ozzy says, but we're still going to come together.
Like what you say.
Wow.
Sorry, did I say that out loud? My bad.
It's okay, but this is the same guy that would just in 2 seconds later would ask me, "Are you going to join? Are you going to join the space?" So
you always join, you know that.
Here we go.
You love the spaces.
It's always great having Oriano on, Trev, as always.
You just call him Oreo.
I said Oreo.
He said Oriano.
Thank you. See, Martin, now you're trying to talk for other people. What are we doing here, mate? What are we doing here, mate?
No one likes.
You're just getting old. You need to go to those. You ever seen one of those videos where they clean out your ear and all the stuff comes out?
I have got a hearing test coming up. Yeah, I have.
So it just happens with age, right? We just got to, make sure we stay on top of things, okay?
He's getting old, Ed. He's getting old.
I am old. We're all getting old.
We get knocked down, but we get up again.
You'll still be buying me a drink next year when I come over.
Hey, I don't know, man. The doc might tell you need to slow down on it,
Oh, yeah. Well, the missus might tell me I'm not allowed to go back out again. She might be like, no, stay in that villa. We'll see. I'm not going over to the Asia part, though, unfortunately. So, yeah.
You think you got looks in the U.S., mate. The stuff you're saying in Asia, you might get locked up.
No. Whoa. I live there.
I'm going to get locked up.
You say what you want here. The English isn't good enough.
Nah, you called it. Yeah, we're unks. Ozzy, thank you again for starting it. You are amazing. By the way, can I just give Ozzy a big thing? Ozzy did your thumbnail tonight.
Yeah, big up Ozzy.
Thumbnail it was. So next season, Ozzy's in charge of thumbnails for every show.
If only had the time. If only.
Oh shit, I am told.
I was gonna say he's better than usual today.
Whoa, dickhead.
Thanks, mate.
No, I'm just joking.
You need to speak to Nobbins about his, get some inspiration from Nobbins, because Nobbins will put out a thumbnail like Guardiola arrested and he's in Bootle Street Nick, and then the content will be about something completely different.
I'll tell you what, we're going to get Nobbins on this show at some point because we need to get Nobbins on. I had a chat with Luke as well, lads. He's going to come on the show as well some point. We've got big summer planned. Jack gone a week tomorrow, as well as your special guest. And don't forget, tomorrow, 1 p.m, me and Todd are back where we'll go. We may have an announcement by 1 p.m. We'll go over the press conference. It is going to be Pep Guardiola's last ever press conference. So that is going to be very intriguing.
Wow.
I don't think we'll get anything. I think we're just going to get the usual, I've got one more year contract. Lovely. Thanks for that. That was so knowledgeable. One thing I will say.
I love that.
Also, keep an eye out. Me and Stephen McInerney have made contact. We're trying to get a date in for the City Social, which I'm loving Stephen at the moment doing. So, yes.
Mark, I'm telling you, man, we need to, after.
We're in discussions, Andrew, and Steve's top guy. I like his contact.
Maybe this can be something we do after the transfer window closes or when we get some players in. Maybe we can bring on the board here to talk about how Maresca will use some of these players to do a little.
And we have got, and by the way, if you want to email us, mancunianway1894@gmail.com. The email is in the description underneath the video. If you've got any ideas for videos that you want for next season, get them in now. Not saying we will, but we'll discuss them as a group.
Explaining banter to idiots show.
On Sunday night, there will be a show Sunday night tomorrow. Sunday night, I will do a show late on. Monday, there won't be anything because I'm at the after party. So I'm going to have a lovely evening at the Co-op. And then Tuesday, we'll be back. We're going to do an Isle Brothers next week, probably Tuesday, doing our end of season with us in Newcastle. Loads of stuff coming up. Thursday night chat, we'll do our end of season review.
I will not be around Sunday. I will be out and about.
You're always out and about. But I just want to thank everyone who's come on the show this season. Well, we're not ending. We're going right through till July. Start of July is when we'll do our break. And then we'll be back for 2-week break, whatever, and then heads out shagging. Oh, gosh. We'll get our side. Loads are coming up. We're going to make your channel bigger and better. And I just want to say the likes, the views, everything in the last few weeks has soared. We're now hit record numbers. And that's because of you. And thank you all. And the new guests. They're amazing. And the hard work everyone's putting in. I can't thank you more. I'll get a space going in about 15 minutes. Big up, Paul. We'll see you Sunday at the game. It's going to be emotional. Me, Ozzy, will see you tomorrow with Tone at 1 p.m. As always, up the Blues. Pep's about to do his last dance. Take care, all.
Oh.